Uh-huh.
Hey, nothing new with that, though. That's probably what's been going on with my cousin's stream. He's been trying to stream some games. I noticed I couldn't load his video the other day.
You know, I'm sitting here looking at your green screen, Shepard, and all these guys nowadays that do green screen like that. And I'm remembering back when me and Clint were like 20, we were trying to do some green screen editing, video editing on After Effects. And it was like you had to have that lighting so perfect, or like it'd be clipping off the edge of your arm and all kinds of like green, fuzzy, buzzy stuff all over you. Now it's just like crispy. You just look so clean. And it just auto cuts it out, right?
Yeah. I've got a little pop-up green screen partition that I built out of PVC pipe, and I just ordered a big canvas cloth, green canvas cloth, and I've got it snapped down on around, just picture framed on the green screen stand. And then I've got a light right up here in front of me that actually sits right over the top of my monitor. And then I've got a light to my left and to my right that have umbrella diffusers on them. And then you can see how like off to the sides it'll cut my hands off or whatever and stuff like that. I just crop the edges and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of iffy. You do need perfect lighting. I'm actually going to do track lighting above me that I installed and ran all the electrical for in my new office when I get that done. So I think my lighting will be even better when I get upstairs. But just little tricks. I think I've spent maybe on lighting. I got a pack on Amazon for all the lighting for somewhere around $50. So it's really not that expensive. I can give you all recommendations if you ever are interested.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I think my green screen cloth and the PVC pipe. So probably all together, I have about $100 in lighting and green screen. And, I've just got the 920, the Logitech 920 HD webcam.
Okay.
So, I mean, since my main business, my main job is graphic 3D art, stuff like that. I've got kind of a rocking computer. So if, I've got everything kind of amped up as high as I can possibly get it.
Right, you can push it to the max kind of thing?
Yeah.
You do CAD work and all that kind of stuff?
I can do CAD work, and I have in the past, but I mainly focus on a program called ZBrush. It's pretty much the program for video game 3D asset design and stuff like that. There's definitely other programs out there that many people use that I'm sure you're familiar with and stuff like that, but ZBrush is kind of the new age, and they're still rolling out, and there's tons of support and lots of people that use it, and I use it mainly for 3D model design for wearables, wearable 3D printable assets for video game movie replicas for costumes and stuff like that. But I also use a couple other programs that are more CAD based, like geometrical and mathematical and measurements and stuff like that. So I use a program called Fusion 360.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
So, which is an Autodesk, AutoCAD, type program. But I do that for more of my my engineering ones, because I do a lot of prototypes for inventions and stuff like that. So it just kind of depends. If I need geometric shapes and stuff, and I need exact measurements, then I'll use Fusion 360.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right, looks like we're up now. Looks like it's working on Twitch. So if you want to share it through that, we'll be ready to go.
Okay, so you're up on Twitch. I'm going to reload. Awesome. Got you reloaded. I'm going to host on Twitch as well.
No wonder we haven't been getting any new Twitch stuff, Ryan.
It's funny. Not really, but
it's sad. That's what it is.
Yeah, because that's been a couple months ago. You upgraded your graphics for when we're doing streaming games.
That would be the downside of doing Restream, right? Whenever you're streaming 3 different places.
Yep.
Well, guys, we're getting ready to start the podcast. Starting a little bit late.
Everybody's like, seems like normal time to me.
Hush, Ryan. Don't be giving away the secrets.
You can't rush perfection, bro.
You can't. Cannot.
Okay. What do you prefer? You're live streaming on YouTube, right?
Yeah, we're on.
Do you prefer YouTube over Twitch as far as where I'm going to make a social post to?
I feel like
probably Twitch or Facebook.
Probably Twitch or Facebook, because I feel like Twitch we have more followers. We really haven't got a lot on the live video from YouTube. We just put it out there because it saves a copy.
No, I hear you.
I don't have Twitch to do that yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Hunter's internet went down. Yeah, baby.
You kidding me?
I'm not. He just sticks with.
Well, we knew he was just moving in, so we should have expected some issues.
It's all right.
I'll put that on management for scheduling a guest on a new location day.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to host on Twitch, but I think I've got a setting that's conflicting. I've got a bunch of people on my auto host list, and they take precedence, so I've got to switch that real quick. So that I can...
gotcha. It's all right, man.
No, I'll get it. I'll put you on the auto host list.
I'm gonna call Hunter real quick and figure out the plan on his end.
All right. All right, hey everybody, we got up here. We're trying to get started, and now Hunter has a new house he just bought. If you've been listening, you know that. And he got his internet hooked up today, and his internet just cut off on him. So, just giving you guys a heads up. Technically difficult Wednesday. That's what's going on.
Okay, I tried calling him. He did not pick up, so that means he's probably on the ground somewhere trying to figure out what's going on with his router. He said it went out to everything, so it wasn't just like his computer.
Right.
All right. Got you on the auto host list.
Sweet. Okay, he said he's resetting his internet.
Doop, doop, doop. Doopy doop. It always happens right after you go live, too. Like, we can sit here for an hour without being live with no technical issues, it seems like.
What are we drinking?
Rose cider.
Cool. Well, sorry, guys. I hope I'm not the
No, you're definitely not
root
the
of the
hang-up
problem
right now.
tonight, guys.
That is not the case. Hopefully Hunter's router will reset. We'll be okay.
Yeah, and guys, I'm in no hurry. I've got plenty of time. I've blocked out the entire evening, so...
Okay.
You're good, man. You're good.
We may lose some live listeners, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Most of our listeners listen to the actual release of the podcast, so it's not a big deal.
Sure.
Okay, so I just talked to Hunter. He said it's our choice on what we want to do. He said he's cool with us starting without him and just go on with it.
Let him join in when he gets it on?
Yeah.
What if he doesn't get it on? What's his plan? He can't really go to your house. He just...
I mean, he could.
Yeah, he'd have to bring his whole computer setup, but he's got all rigged up now, though.
No, he'll just show up and come up to the right, to the mic.
Oh, and just record right next to you.
Yeah, I'll just scoot over.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's start. If he can't get it on, see if he's okay with running over to your house and joining in there. Is he still pretty close to you?
He said 10 minutes.
Let's see what he says. Hey guys, Hunter moved to his new house. Stuff is dropping internet wise. We're trying to get things up and going. We're about to start without him and let him join back in.
All right, let me gather my thoughts here. Good there. All right. All right, Ryan, you ready, brother?
I'm ready.
Okay.
There we go. Got the stream hosted.
Sweet. All right, here we go. We're doing it live. 3, 2, 1. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Click Gaming, a freelance esports tournament company based out of Oklahoma. If you're located in the U.S. and need esports services, this is the ultimate gaming company for you. Contact Johnny Weaver at icychiller@att.net. That's icychiller, ICYCHILLER. Tonight on the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
That's one sneaky Viking.
I just met me a blacksmith, and I'm headed to save Azeroth.
And now, the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's the 65th episode of the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast. And tonight, I'm here with my good buddy, Ryan Maddox.
What's that?
And we're also here with Hunter Venable, who I don't think is...
What's going on? I'm here.
Oh, he's here. Okay, sweet.
I'm alive.
So before we got this podcast going, we did the live stream, as we do every week, and I was having some technical issues on Twitch side, and then Hunter lost his internet. So that's where we're at on that tonight. But we're happy to be here with you tonight. We're going to be doing Epic Dads, and we've got a special guest tonight that we'll be revealing at the start of the Epic Dads segment. And then Ryan's going to hit us with the gaming news of the week. What's big, what's going on. It's going to be fun.
What matters.
And Hunter's back live with us. His door is opening because he has a ghost in the house.
Happy ghost. This is just a great start to our podcast today.
He'll be nailing us with some gaming quiz stuff. It's going to be his custom gaming quiz, so that means we don't know if it's real or if it's fake. And he didn't tell me if it's Easter eggs or what. But we're
grabbing a beer.
But everybody loves it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so we got a good night planned. It's going to be fun. It's going to be epic, as they say.
Who's they? Anything like how it started, we're going to have a blast.
Yeah, it'll be great. Great. Okay, Hunter, are you all set up, my friend?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, we're good to go.
I think I'm good. Do I look good on your end?
Oh, you look sexy.
You sound beautiful.
You always look good like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're gonna make me blush. Quit.
Yeah, well, don't get too used to it. But yeah, So Ryan, before we get started, while we're waiting on our boy to get back, is the game news going to be loaded or what?
The game news is semi-loaded. It's still kind of thin in comparison to our normal. It's been kind of thin for the last month or month and a half. Maybe the first part of the COVID-19 pandemic had some decent news because everything was like, we're all shutting down and all the gaming conventions were closing. But then about the last month, it's kind of thinned out. I got a couple good ones, and some of it's a little thin. I think some of it people are going to really like, just nothing's real big.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Well, with that said, we're going to head on over.
Go ahead. I'm ready.
We're going to head on over to Epic Dads and reveal our guest.
Epic Dads, Epic Results.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Epic Dads. This segment is reserved for, the Epic Dads, the best dads. And in this segment, we're actually going to have a guest. This is kind of a new direction we want to start going with the Epic Dads portion, which is to get dads on here that have either a gaming story to tell, something, awesome story with their kid, just kind of recognizing all the great dads out there. And,
oh, yeah. So all your dads know, pretty much if you're a dad and you're not just a sperm donor, you're an epic dad.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to have an extreme story, but we do like to, for our guests, have some good stories or someone who's in the gaming community somehow or another, or just a really cool story that happened with their kids. We all have stories we think are cool, but they're not always cool. You're just a dad with a kid.
Yeah, but we got time for you, so it's all good. Well, the first guest that we're having on the Epic Dads portion is he's a dad, he is a gamer, and he's an entrepreneur. He has shown off amazing cosplay abilities at major gaming conventions like TwitchCon. One that we talk about a lot is BlizzCon. He's been there. His company specializes in 3D art design fabrication. So with further ado, we'd like to introduce the owner of Shepherd Creations, Jake Brown. Jake, welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me here tonight.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, yeah. We're excited to have you.
Sorry for the delayed start, but
no worries at all, man.
We
I
appreciate
blocked
the
out
patience.
the entire night, and I'm excited to be here, and I got a beer in hand, so let's roll.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I wanted to start off with some questions for you, more related to your business, and talk about that. First off, what inspired you to get into 3D fabrication? What kind of started that for you?
Really, it was my time in the military. I lived overseas for quite a while, and growing up, I was always really artistic, and I grew up on a farm, so we did a lot of work with our hands. And growing up on a farm, we couldn't afford to pay other people to do things, so I learned leatherworking, blacksmithing, stonemasonry work, carpentry, pretty much anything you can think of growing up. And then I joined the military, and I lost the ability to work with my hands and do things creative just because I didn't have the space or access to tools and stuff like that. So but I did have my computer with me. And luckily, while I was overseas, I had a good group of gaming buddies that I had started gaming with before I joined the military, and I had a good computer. I pretty much all of my adult life, I've been able to build my own computers, and even prior to being, an adult on my own, I was building computers as a teenager.
Okay.
And so I always had pretty good gaming PCs. Well, benefit of having a good gaming PC is, you can usually do other things like video editing and stuff. And I actually got into the 3D modeling aspect because I was gaming and I saw people modding video games, and I got into the modding video game aspect of it. And then I got into, I want to create my own 3D models, my own 3D assets. Oh, it'd be cool if I got Zelda armor in Skyrim or, something like that. So I started modding Skyrim. And once I transitioned out of the military, I actually came back to the U.S. and and started a business of my own. Didn't pertain anything to artwork or anything like that. It was actually security wiring, camera systems, phone in there, TV, surround sound, and stuff like that with a buddy of mine. And we were kind of fiddling around with a few different things, and we were thinking about different, surround sound capable products that we were kind of kicking around ideas with and stuff. And I got into the 3D modeling more of on a technical side of things rather than video game assets.
Okay.
And then I bought a 3D printer, started 3D printing my own stuff, and then it just snowballed. I wanted to make this. I wanted to make a helmet. I wanted to make something from a video game, and I had already the capability of 3D modeling. And then I started 3D printing stuff, and then I had more people asking me to 3D print stuff for them, and that's pretty much how it all came to fruition.
Okay.
And you just realized, hey, maybe this is a business on its own.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So was there any particular game when you first started making, your items? Was there a particular game that inspired you, and what direction you were taking that art form?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I've been playing World of Warcraft since vanilla, so
Okay.
And I've been playing with the same roughly 15 people since vanilla. Yeah,
Oh,
I've
really?
played every expansion up to current, and World of Warcraft was definitely a big inspiration when it came down to creating things that were wearable for costume making and stuff like that. It wasn't necessarily, when I started this business, it wasn't necessarily, man, I want to be a professional cosplayer or something like that. I just like building things and making things and creating things that don't exist or that I can pull out of a game or a movie that I really like that you wouldn't be able to purchase otherwise. And I wanted to make it for myself. And then I had people asking me to make it for them. And the thing is, with doing cosplay, a lot of these characters are really iconic, right? And you have cosplay conventions that are available to go to now, and people dress up for them. So it's really relevant, I guess, is the best way to explain it. And about every other year, I create a full-blown suit of armor for myself, more as an advertisement thing to showcase what I can do, rather than the fact that I just want to dress up in costumes all the time. Although it's cool.
Yeah, you're showing your skill set.
Right. I can't, if I was just to make one helmet or one weapon or some object like a Sith Wayfinder that you wanted to 3D print from the new Star Wars movie and put it on your desk as some like little lamp or something like that. Yeah, that's cool. But when the majority of my business comes from online social media outreach and stuff like that, I need something that has that wow factor. And a full-blown suit of armor with a weapon, a helmet, and everything to go with it, that's going to reach a lot more people for my business than just making one little object and posting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So do you make these suits of armors for other people? Like if someone hires you and says, hey, I need to have this, I want to become a freaking, stormtrooper or whatever they want to be for cosplay. Do you make that stuff for them and design like whole suits for other people? Or is that not a commonality for what you do work-wise?
I can do it, and I'm willing to do it. The problem is, it's more when somebody come to me, it's more for a one-off. Like I want this helmet from this superhero. Can you 3D model it and 3D print it for me? Yes, I can. Can you make it out of foam? Yes, I can. I have made a full-blown suit of armor for somebody in the past. It wasn't completely 3D printed or 3D modeled. It was actually made out of floor mat foam, or you can say high density EVA foam.
Right.
You see a lot of other cosplayers use rolls foam. Some people use the less expensive version. They'll get the 2 foot by 2 foot puzzle piece floor mats and cut them up and use a heat gun and glue them together and stuff like that. I've got a costume that I made for a guy in Florida a few years back. It was actually Anduin Lothar from the World of Warcraft movie. It was his full cinematic armor. The only thing I did not make is the sword. He already had a sword to go with it. He had, I believe he ended up purchasing it from Weta Workshop. It was one of the actual film
swords,
weapons, film swords, and it was one of their silicone sparring swords. So it was perfect. It was just literally probably something that Anduin Lothar used in the movie. And so, but anyway, I created the armor to go with it, and I was really proud of it, and it turned out as close to like it as I possibly could without having the exact measurements, design, and blueprint and stuff like that. But as far as 3D printed suits of armor, I have never made a full suit of armor 3D modeled and 3D printed for anyone else. Now, I have made assets 3D modeled that people can download and purchase and 3D print them for themselves, but not the complete build start to finish. And the reason why is just it's very expensive. It's so
I was going to say it's not price effective.
Right. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way, but even if I got paid $1,000 or $1 an hour, I still had 3,000 hours in my last full-blown 3D modeled, 3D printed, finished out suit of armor for myself. 3,000 hours, and that's if I got paid $1 an hour.
Yeah.
And so that's my advertisement. I don't spend money advertising as far as like paying for an ad and, hey, come to my shop. You know what I mean? But my advertisement is my time devoted to something that I can create that has got a wow factor that is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it becomes shareable, and people start sharing it to other people, and so you're basically leveraging social media with your creativity there. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So, so whenever you say one-off, so like if Hunter wanted, he's a big Halo fan. So
I could do a Master Chief helmet.
Okay.
I could do oh my goodness, and y'all are gonna laugh at me because I can't think of the sword right now, but the Halo sword. Good Lord. What's it called?
I know which one. You're talking about the purple one with the 2 spikes. I know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh!
I can't think of it right now, though.
Drawing blank on it too.
Oh man! But anyway, so I could 3D model anything really and truly that you want. It just it doesn't matter what it is. If I can get some decent reference images, I can 3D model it. If it doesn't matter if I just have a front image, I can make up the sides and the back. If I had just a side image and the front image, I can make up the back. You know. I can make it happen. It takes time. It takes a lot of dedication and a lot of creative foresight to kind of know what's behind that corner that you can't see on a 2D image that you want to bring to life in 3D.
Right.
But yeah, I can make it. It doesn't matter what it is. And like I've got people that come to me that say, like I said earlier, somebody came to me and said, hey man, I want a helmet from Deathstroke. I 3D modeled Deathstroke mask for him. I've done Red Hood. I've done Mandalorian. I mean, I've done quite a few helmets.
That's cool.
I want a Predator mask.
Predator mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's definitely a good genre to go with. That'd be awesome. You're gonna get the alien gnarly tentacle dreads too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Heck
Just buy the whole deal.
If I could get the costume, that may be my motivation to get in shape, I think.
There you go.
I like it. That's him preparing for the big sell to the wife. That's what that is.
So how long have you been doing the actual I would say not just cosplay, but making of models? That's really what you're doing. You're making 3D models and you're producing them in real life. How long have you been doing that?
I've been 3D modeling since about 2008, 2009.
Okay.
I've been creating 3D assets for video games and modding and stuff like that, recreationally, not professionally.
Yeah.
You know, as far as video games go. Now,
but pretty much your whole adulthood, just about close to it. You've been doing it.
Yeah, I have been. You know, I graduated high school in 2006. And after that, so 2 years after that, my whole adult life. I'm 33 now, so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then, so I've been doing that. Prior to that, the whole reason I kind of got into the creative aspect in the costuming when I was growing up, I had an uncle that was a chiropractor, and he was kind of a big nerd. You know, was going through medical school. He moved back home. My grandmother was kind of in bad health, needed somebody to take care of her, the live-in, you know, type of deal.
Right.
And so my dad was military 33 years as well. So when he was gone and my mom was working in the summer, I'd go over to my grandmother's house and my uncle was there. And, you know, when he'd come home from work, he would play video games with me. He actually was the first person that I knew that had a computer at his house. So he taught me how to build computers when I was at a really young age, you know, 10, 11, 12. I was building desktop PCs and stuff like that. Well, anyway, he was really into medieval fairs and going and stuff like that. And he had some friends that did the SCA reenactment, sword fighting and stuff. So at a young age as well, I was going with him to medieval fairs, and a couple of his buddies were like archers, and they would teach me archery. And then one of his buddies was into sword fighting, and I would learn how to kind of sword fight. I was never professional or good at it, but
Right.
just it was fun to be around that.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got into leatherworking, and as well. So when I was a kid too, I would have my grandmother, I would draw a picture. I was always into drawing, and she would sew these costumes for me, and then I'd go to the medieval fairs. And then I would add my own little leatherworking, bracers and stuff like that. And then as I got older, when I was a senior in high school, we moved out of our family home for many years. My mom and dad, they bought a new house. And I went back over to the shop behind our house one day to get some things my dad had left. He had a 30 by 60 shop out back. He's a mechanic, kind of recreationally and stuff. So anyway, I go and I hear ting, ting, ting as I go to knock on the door, and I walk in, and the guy that had bought the house was a master blacksmith. So
really?
I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Went right
I've
along with
always wanted
everything
to
else
learn
you're
how to
learning.
blacksmith. And he said, literally the first second I had met him, the first minute, I said that, and he said, well, come over here and grab a hammer, and I'll show you how to do it. So then I apprenticed with him for, all my senior year, a little while after. Then after that, I joined the military, and then I just lost the creative handheld making things with my hand aspect. That's why I got into that 3D modeling, and that's how I've ended up to where I am today.
Now you've kind of blended both together. You do the 3D modeling on the computer, and then you bring it to life for people if they want you to, right? Sometimes it sounds like sometimes you're just selling the design too. They can take it and have it made wherever they want to.
Right. Yeah. I sell my 3D models passively online. So I can create a 3D model in about 8 hours. And obviously that takes time, and I'm not making money doing something else. But if I don't have a client, I'll create a 3D asset that I think is relevant based upon a current video game, movie, something popular, comic or something like that, whether it's a weapon or shoulder pauldrons or bracers. You get the idea, right?
Right.
And then I'll upload that as a digital file to the internet that is already set up and ready to rock as a 3D printable, downloadable file. People can go to Etsy, my website, Cults 3D, and they can pay $5, $15, $10, $20, $50, whatever I upload that 3D model for, based upon the amount of time that I spend on it. And then I can sell that model an unlimited amount of time.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
It's pretty cool to create my own passive source of income in that way.
And it's good. Cool. You have a lot of avenues then, like you're saying, you don't just have to physically make everything. And then my question too, that kind of popped into my head, and I had planned on asking a question similar, but if you wanted figurines then, or say me and Ryan get into a cool board game, and Hunter joins us, and he's like, hey, I want to make my own character for this. Say it's a role play type game or something like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Can
D&D.
you? So you can do figurines and things like that.
Yeah, minifigs and stuff like that. I play D&D myself. I was actually live streaming here on Twitch, full blown costume, voice acting, and playing a D&D game with a couple people out in California, a few people around the United States, and we did it for almost a year. Weekly on Twitch, and it was awesome. Unfortunately, we didn't play with minifigs, physical minifigs, because obviously we were playing through, the internet, and we were playing D&D Beyond, or not D&D Beyond, but we were on Roll20. And but anyway, here at the house, I've been playing for 3 or 4 years now with a bunch of buddies of mine, and we have minifigures, and some that I've 3D modeled, some that I've downloaded and printed. So yeah, it's creating a 3D asset is creating a 3D asset, whether it's going to be something that you're going to wear or something that you're going to put as a figurine on your desk, or
or some Delirious Dads gaming bobbleheads.
Yeah,
there you go.
We could do that too. We could definitely do that too. That would be awesome. I've never modeled bottleheads. I have actually modeled minions and turned them into superheroes. So the movie Minions. Yeah. My kids, they love the Minion movies and stuff like that. So I was like, man, it would be so cool if Minions, if they made a movie where they were all dressed up for Halloween and they were wearing like superhero costumes and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, I've got a 3D model those. So I actually have created like a handful of them. I think I have 5 or something. And I practically give them away. Those were just little hobby fun things. I've got a Minion Deadpool. And he's actually got both fingers up, flipping people off. And it's a minion. Clearly, it's a minion, but he's in the Deadpool costume, and he's flipping people off.
That's good.
Yeah. So
Now, if we do the Delirious Dads bobbleheads, Ryan's
Yeah.
head has to be 2 times bigger. That's just
Yeah.
That's fine.
the way
I'm
Okay.
perfectly fine with that.
yeah, we can do that.
We
can
got to
do that,
stay
you
true to
know?
reality.
It's all
I guess.
customizable. You know, we can
People
do.
people be like,
whatever
is this
anyone
Fred
needs.
Flintstone? No, that's Ryan Maddox. Oh, okay. Same difference.
If we're doing that, you have to put an extra crease in Clinton's chin. So
Ooh, ouch. Neck,
So
bro.
the-
It's
That's the
double-
beautiful thing about bobbleheads. They don't have necks or anything. You know, just
So
the
we
head.
get out of
You're good.
that part then.
Yeah.
that's
For
good.
sure.
Well, you've also got to travel a little bit, and so we're really interested in the conventions. You've been to TwitchCon, you've been to BlizzCon, so I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about both, as far as being on the ground floor, how it works, and which one you preferred.
Okay. So I've been to Comic Cons. Before I joined the military, Comic Con wasn't a thing. It just didn't exist, and that's why I was going to medieval fairs. And I come
Right.
out of the military, I come back, and I'm kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm going to school, and I've got a job managing a gym, fitness facility. You know what I mean, fitness gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm surfing on YouTube, and I'm like, you know what? Halloween's coming up. I want to create a costume.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go on YouTube, and I'm like, man, how are people creating costumes? And I kind of stumbled across people doing like some really good looking armor. And I was like, man, that's not metal. What is that? And that's how I stumbled into the creating the costumes thing. And
Okay.
so anyway, my first costume that I made was Garen, and from League of Legends, Garen, full metal Garen, and it was atrocious. Made out of foam, not 3D modeled. I had 3D modeled aspects like little parts and stuff. Well, anyway, that next year, I was live streaming on Twitch. At the same time, I was live streaming on Twitch as that first costume, and I was live streaming modding Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been a gamer and stuff like that, but nobody wants to watch Skyrim for the most part unless you have like 4,000 viewers and you're doing a
Right.
speed run
Yeah.
or something like that.
Or you got to be able to do some kind of comedy, like some
Right.
voices with it or something, right?
Right. I just want to chill and hang out, and I'm not that theatrical. I guess I can be sometimes, but anyway, I actually started doing 3D modeling and 3D printing on Twitch, and I got banned. I literally got banned for 2 weeks because I was 3D modeling and 3D printing on Twitch.
Really?
So I took a break, came back a year later, and I start streaming again. And all of a sudden, there's a creative section. There wasn't one when I got banned, and there's people 3D printing and stuff for what I got banned for. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get back into this game.
So
Well,
enough people pushed that envelope then that they were
right.
like,
So
we
the
need to do
creative
something for
community
this.
started to blossom, right? And so I started getting into the first costume that I actually made on Twitch was Deathstroke, and I started making it there on Twitch, and then I made a Jedi Acolyte from Star Wars: The Old Republic video game MMO, and then I heard about Twitch having TwitchCon, the first TwitchCon, and they were going to do a cosplay contest, and you had to stream so many hours, and build it on stream and stuff like that. So I started building Anduin Lothar from the World of Warcraft movie, and it was a.
What year was that? The first TwitchCon? I'm just curious.
2016.
Okay.
2000.
Because I don't think I heard about it until last year. Is whenever I actually
2016. Yeah, 2016, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
So I entered in that cosplay contest, and I live streamed, and I didn't get invited. I wasn't in the top 20.
Oh, that's
there was something like over 100 people that entered in, and I just, I wasn't completely finished. I didn't have the best photos. I just wasn't. I didn't need to be invited. Ultimately, I didn't earn it, and that's fine. But I was kind of new to it. You know what I mean? And to making a full blown suit of armor. And I know this is kind of a long answer to the question you asked about TwitchCon and stuff like that.
No, you're good.
I feel like I've got to explain how I got to TwitchCon.
No, we love it. It's all about because this is a different element, right? We've never even dealt with any of this creating a suit of armor, costume, and trying to get qualified for any
I appreciate it.
contest. So you're good.
Yeah. So I entered into the contest the next year. I didn't go 2016. I entered in 2017 with Varian Wren from World of Warcraft.
Okay.
which was my second entry into TwitchCon. I won. I was in the top 20. And anybody that was in the top 20 for TwitchCon the first year and every year since, the top 20 get invited and full expense paid trip to TwitchCon.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, nice.
So my second year
So
entering
you were
in
VIP.
TwitchCon.
Pretty much.
No, not necessarily VIP. They were definitely they definitely held up their end of the bargain as far as paying for what they said they would pay for. We definitely weren't VIPs or anything like that, other than just the aspect of the show, the on-stage showing of our costumes and stuff like that.
Right.
But other than that, we were just con goers.
Okay.
So anyway, and the deal was that if you got invited, you had to pay your way there, and then as you go there and you show on stage and you participate in the competition, you will get reimbursed later for your expenses. And they had an allotted amounts that went to each category, each costume type, because they had some costumes that were larger than life, and it took a lot more logistics and money to get the costume to TwitchCon and to California. That time it was in Long Beach, California, the year that I went. The year prior to that, I want to say that it was in LA the first year. I want to say it was in LA the first year, Long Beach the second year, and then it was in San Diego the third year. So anyway, I go to TwitchCon, I participate. I ended up not placing, but I was in the top 20, so I was freaking ecstatic. I got to go to California. Other than just flying through California previously, I had got to go to California and actually spend some time there. And I was a con goer, man. I got to experience Twitch.
Yeah.
Well,
awesome.
While I was at Twitch and before the costume, so I showed up on Thursday and, get checked into the hotel. And of course I had to book it myself and pay for it myself. And man, those hotel costs they jack up the prices when there's a big event like that.
Yeah, because they know they're going to be sold out.
They don't leave it to normal price when they know there's going to be a massive influx of tourists or for events and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
man, I swear the annual cost per night on these hotels go up $100 to $200 per night. It was kind of mind-boggling to me. Anyway, so show up Thursday, Friday, kind of walk around, go to TwitchCon, for the first day. Opening day's Friday, walk the floor, stuff like that. It was really cool, man. It was really cool because I'd been streaming on Twitch since before creative was a thing. And here I am at TwitchCon as a competitor, top 20 for the cosplay contest. And it was just...
After getting banned for the exact same thing.
After getting banned for doing what I ended up getting invited to TwitchCon for this competition. Yeah.
That's cool.
So it was just nuts, man. It was nuts.
Awesome.
But you got to see big streamers, man. And I didn't meet anybody in okay. That year, who was it? Okay, so that year, I took pictures with Summit. I talked to him for a minute and stuff, and I said, "Hey, man, you got to shout out the creative community on Twitch. We don't get any love. All gamers get the love." So, I talked to him about that, and it was cool. I met a lot of people because I had already made a lot of friends on Twitch. I've got a big group of other streamers on Twitch that are my friends, and then people that came and that were followers of my stream and still are followers of my stream and stuff like that. So I got to meet them, and it was an awesome opportunity to see that. A lot of aspects of it I wasn't really into because I'm not into every game. I didn't go to every panel. I didn't participate in every event and stuff like that because I was more there for the creative aspect of it, which is kind of a small part of the Twitch community. Right. But it was still really cool. So I spent the day on the floor Friday, ate, met up with some friends, got some food, hung out and saw some stuff like that, and went to a couple different of the booths, got some free T-shirts, bags, and stuff like that for some of the video game companies. And then I went to bed early on that Friday night. My little guy is coming in here. What's up, bud? I am so sorry for the interruption.
No,
you're fine. This
is the Delirious
Epic
Dads gaming podcast.
He's running from his mom. Can you say hi, bud? Can you say hi?
Hi, buddy.
Hey.
Tell him your name.
What's up, man?
Leon Arthur Brown. Say, King Leonidas.
That's awesome.
Oh, bud, you okay? Uh-oh, he fell over.
You didn't
Okay.
trip him on his way out? I do that. to
Oh,
mine
he
sometimes.
tripped on the green screen behind me,
I
actually.
got you.
So, sorry, I feel like this is dragging on, but I feel like
No, you're
in
good.
order to give it its due, I've got to tell the whole story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
And
fine,
get
man.
the inside of TwitchCon and these conventions, and if you've never experienced it before, you can't hold back. And I hope that y'all don't take this like, man, shut up, stop talking, guy.
Nope, not at all.
Nope.
Okay. So anyway, wake up Saturday morning. I went to bed early Friday night. Wake up Saturday morning, and we had to be to judging at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And so we all went downstairs in the bottom floor of the convention center in Long Beach, and away from everybody else that was on the convention floor. We were literally downstairs in like dressing rooms and conference rooms and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And got into costume. Everybody else that was in the top 20 was there. We were pretty much just dressing in the hallway, girls, guys, just getting in our costumes in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I mean, obviously the general public wasn't there, but it was just all of
Right.
us and stuff. So then I go in and get judged, and I was like, man, I'm already in this costume. I'm already here. And I get prejudged, from the special guest judges, and they are people in the cosplay community, people that have been in the movie industry, people that are
Right.
well known on Twitch, people that are well known cosplayers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So they have their
so-
credentials.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
People that have been doing it for many, many, many years, tons of experience and professional and stuff like that. So did the prejudging, and I was like, you know what? Let's go up on the floor. So from I want to say 10 a.m. until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I walked around all of TwitchCon and saw
Mhm.
thousands of people dressed as Varian Wren from World of Warcraft.
Hmm.
And, I don't know if y'all have seen my Varian Wren cosplay, but that's my favorite my most favorite that I've ever done. I think it's the most like the character, although I don't know, Death Knight Anduin was like Anduin. I think it was portrayed really well, but when you look at Death Knight Anduin, you can't say, oh, that's Death Knight Anduin. You're just like, wow, that's a big, skeletal
Right.
warrior guy. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but Varian, you're like, holy crap, this is Varian Wren.
From the game.
And
yeah. You did good on
anyway.
the scar too. I did check out that. So
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.
yeah. So I know
Uh,
which picture to use now in the next.
Awesome.
Next
Okay.
preview.
Cool. And then I got to meet Swifty. I don't know if y'all are familiar
Yep.
with who Swifty
I know
is.
Swifty
Big
is.
World of Warcraft gamer. I got to meet Bajira,
Yeah.
another big World of
Mhm.
Warcraft gamer, and so that was cool. I got pictures with them, and man, it was literally like I was a celebrity on this Twitch floor at
That's
this
cool.
point. You know what I mean? So many people play World of Warcraft that were at the Twitch convention, and even if they didn't know what World of Warcraft was or who Varian was, I could maybe walk 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, and I would stop for 15 minutes and just take pictures with people after people after people. And
That's
so
cool.
it was just, I'd never experienced anything like that in my entire life. I mean,
Yeah.
it was kind of crazy. It really was crazy. And
yeah.
that's how I got into Twitch. So, go through the competition that day at 4, walk on stage. That was such an awesome experience. In front, everything was live streamed on the actual Twitch channel on Twitch. And that was really cool. Everybody was super nice. The entire Twitch staff, they were really cool. It was really an awesome opportunity. Everybody that I participated with, my peers, as far as the other contestants, they were just professional and very kind. I think the right person won. SKS props. He was a Theron guard from Gears of War, and
Okay.
he was tall, walked on platforms. I mean, he was huge. And
Okay.
he's kind of a smaller guy. I mean, he might be 5'5" in height normally.
But with the
And
platforms,
but in this costume that he built, he was like 7 foot tall.
Wow.
And man, it was awesome. He did a great job. But
That's cool.
so awesome opportunity. Sunday rolls around. I'm out of costume. Nobody knows who I am. I'm just another person, and I'm
Right.
walking around, and I walk up, and I kind of get to relax at this point, and I kind of get to experience a little bit more of the con. Of course, I'd spent some more time with some of my friends that were there and stuff like that. And my wife and I are walking around, and I walk up to the Corsair booth, and I'm looking at Corsair products because I have used Corsair products with gaming and mice, keyboards, headsets, stuff like that for years. And they got a big booth there, and they got all their RGB LED mice and keyboards and headsets and everything set up.
Right.
And I get to talking to this guy that's working in the back in the booth, and we just get to talking, and I can't even remember how it happened, but he found out, or I told him that I was Varian from the day before. He was like, dude, that was the most epic costume I've ever seen in my life. And so literally instantly he said, are you going to BlizzCon? And I said, excuse me. And BlizzCon, mind you, was next week. It was
really?
the next
It's right around the
weekend
corner.
in Anaheim.
Okay.
Okay.
And no. Not the next weekend. It was the 2 weeks away. So I was there at TwitchCon. The next weekend I came home. That week I came home, and then I went to BlizzCon. And the only reason I went to BlizzCon is because he hired me on the spot to be a booth babe for Corsair's
Wow.
really?
booth at BlizzCon as Varian Rin.
That's
Oh,
cool.
that is.
I had
man.
I had no tickets for BlizzCon. I had no hotel for BlizzCon. I had nothing. So
That's cool.
I had flown
That's
to
awesome.
TwitchCon just miraculously because I got into this competition and got paid to go there. Essentially, I got reimbursed.
Right.
But anyway, then I get to Twitch. I don't win in the competition, but then I'm walking around, and the guy that I just so happened talking to at the Corsair booth, he's like, dude, that was the greatest Varian, greatest World of Warcraft costume I'd ever seen. Whether that's what he said or not, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, and he invites me to be, no joke, a booth babe for Corsair, the computer accessory company,
Yeah.
at BlizzCon,
Yeah.
and
To draw attention to him and stuff.
to
Yeah,
draw
that's cool.
attention to their booth.
That
Yeah.
is hilarious.
So,
Oh, that's awesome.
so I fly home, and we have a big Halloween party at the house every year. I fly home on Monday. That week, I kind of relax or whatever. And mind you, I work for myself and at this point, so I'm kind of recouping from the week of travel
Right.
and stuff like that. And then Saturday rolls around. We have our normal Halloween party, costume party, and I wore. I don't know if y'all are familiar with League of Legends either at all or anything, but Zed, he's got a mask. Zed is the name of a character. He's an assassin. So I was formal Zed. It was just my own made-up costume. I put on a black suit, pants, jacket, and then I had a T-shirt that had a little Poro from League of Legends video game. It's just like this little white creature. And then and he's the little white creature is dressed up as Zed, and then I put on Zed's mask that I had made as well, and that's what I wore for Halloween. So anyway, flash forward, the next week rolls around, and on Wednesday I fly out to California. I meet a buddy of mine in Long Beach, and he lives there in Long Beach. He's another creator. He was actually the main judge of the Twitch cosplay contest that year, like the week before. His name's Hoku Props, and met him and hung out for a little bit, and then went to BlizzCon. I ended up finding some people here from Oklahoma that some buddies of mine that ended up going to BlizzCon, and they found out about me being invited by Corsair and working for them. So anyway, I ended up just bumming a couch bed from their hotel they already had booked. I ended up getting tickets from Corsair because the tickets had already been sold out.
Right.
And then I end up going into BlizzCon for the first time, and dude, that is the greatest gaming experience I have ever had ever. And
I've only ever done the virtual ticket, but
dude,
every year I'm like, one of these years I'm going.
If you are a Blizzard fan, dude, if you ever want to go, man, I
will let you know.
Let me know, and I'll go with you. We'll share a hotel room.
Sounds good to me.
Anytime, dude. If you are a Blizzard fan, BlizzCon is a mind-boggling experience. It is just insane.
That's
so
cool.
many like-minded people that love the games. Statues everywhere. Everything is decorated like the BlizzCon atmosphere or the Blizzard atmosphere. You've got the Overwatch stage, the Hearthstone stage, the World of Warcraft stage. StarCraft stage, anything and everything you can think of. The World Championships for all these games are there. Man, it's just insane. It's such an insane opportunity.
And
What's
not every
that?
game. I said huge gaming celebration for the community.
No, it is, man.
You don't see it a lot within other games, right? I mean, you have little things here and there, but nothing that major.
Correct. So I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick. I'm sorry it's going on too long, but so I get there. I end up working for Corsair. They end up giving me these bags of Corsair coins. They're little golden 2-sided coins. They've got the Corsair logo on one side, like the flag Corsair logo, and on the other side it just says Corsair. Well, they gave me these bags, and I'd walk around, and they would make social media posts. Hey, go find Varian, and he'll give you a gift to bring back to our booth for a reward. So I was walking all over BlizzCon, doing my own thing, seeing what I wanted to see, watching what I wanted to watch, talking to who I wanted to talk to, experiencing what I wanted to experience. Granted, I wasn't just sitting there and watching shows. I was mingling with the community. I wasn't just sitting there hiding in the corner, paying attention to the Hearthstone stage or you know what I mean? I wasn't. I was doing my job as far as walking around and mingling, but I wasn't just in one spot. And people would come up to me and say, Varian, hey, can I take a picture with you? And then if they took a picture with me and made a social media post hashtagging Corsair or @Corsair, and so on, then I would give them a coin that they could take to the Corsair booth. And Corsair had a claw machine, like an old-fashioned Toy Story claw machine, and they could use those coins to put into the machine, and it would drop down with like the hook, the claw, and grab little balls, like the little plastic lid balls that are see-through and kind of like a colored plastic lid. And then they would pull out a piece of paper, and in there it would say, you win a keychain, or you win a Corsair RGB LED Void Pro headset, or you win a lanyard, RGB LED lanyard, or you'd win a keyboard. Like, seriously, they were giving away legitimate stuff.
Yeah, that's excellent.
That's what I did. And not to go into it again, but the next year I ended up entering in the Twitch cosplay contest, and I ended up going again and getting my expenses paid. And didn't have plans prior, but I ended up working for Corsair again. So 2 years in a row, I went to TwitchCon in the top 20, and 2 years in a row, I ended up going to BlizzCon and was a booth babe for Corsair 2 years in a row. So
that's awesome.
I got a question. So when you were in the competition, when they do, each year they've done it a little bit different, it seems like. But did they announce you as Shepard, or did they announce you by your real name?
No, Shepherd Creations.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, so I probably saw you and didn't even realize it was you.
You probably are correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's hilarious. It's like I knew that guy. We went to school together.
I know. You guys
Sorry, that was a long-winded story, gentlemen, but I just in order to give it justice,
it had all the right build-up. Now, if you're just like, oh, it was fun. I got one.
Yeah, the whole time.
Well, you did ask which one I liked better, and
which one?
I've been a Blizzard gamer since the beginning. I was playing Orcs and Humans before World of Warcraft was a thing. You know what I mean? Literally the RPG Orcs and Humans. I was playing when I was 11, 12. BlizzCon was definitely by far the better experience. I'm a huge fan of Twitch. I love what they do. I think it's really cool. Tons of friends. But as far as for what I enjoy, there's a lot of things at TwitchCon that aren't necessarily for me.
Yeah.
Right.
But whereas everything at BlizzCon was
all
for you.
of BlizzCon was for me.
Yeah.
Even when I don't play Overwatch. I mean, I've played it. You know what I mean? But I don't play Hearthstone, but it still doesn't matter because it's still World of Warcraft characters.
Yeah,
it's
connected
still
to the WoW universe.
Blizzard universe characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's kind of how I am. I don't play like StarCraft. I never had a chance to really get into, and they never really made a full-fledged, game like they have with Diablo. So I just haven't had a chance to connect with it, right? But I feel the same way about BlizzCon. Like I could go to these other cons, but for me personally, I'm probably more connected to the Blizzard stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Right. You guys who were watching or listening to the podcast, Clinton was just fangirling the whole time. His face was just like,
when I'm telling the story.
Yeah. I can't. I've never seen Clinton smile like a giddy little girl like that.
I did. What are you talking about? I'm nerding out over here.
Dude,
like Christmas.
If any of y'all ever want to go, y'all are seriously, man. If y'all are big Blizzard fans, I know Clinton is, but
don't tempt me. Don't tempt me, Jake. I'll be talking to the wife after.
Y'all ever want to go to BlizzCon? I'm down. Let's roll.
She's played WoW too, so she's all about. She wants to go with me too. So it's kind of it would be easy to be like, hey babe, family vacation, just me and you.
Kayla, my wife, she went with me to TwitchCon the first year, and she's not a cosplayer. She's not she doesn't do the creative thing like I do. She doesn't get it. She likes video games, but gets so addicted to them, she won't allow herself to play them.
Sounds like my wife.
The first time we played Star Wars: The Old Republic online MMORPG, we played for, I want to say, 12 hours. The first time ever. 12 hours straight. Our daughter was like turning into a raisin in the bathtub. I mean, she was like, I can't play video games anymore. So now, I mean, we do still play together and stuff with the kids. But
yeah, we ran into that. We had Claire, and she's about to turn 4 at the end of July. And we had the, we were playing WoW before we had kids. It was kind of our thing. And then I remember the Legion expansion came out and we had just had Claire. And so I bought it for both of us, Dad's taking care of business. And so I remember Claire was having issues with napping and that kind of stuff. She's still newborn. And Mikkel tried it with me. And I remember she couldn't, as a mom, she couldn't turn off the mom mode. And so she was like, I can't take care of our daughter properly. I'm like, she's fine. Just let her cry it out a little bit.
Tough love.
We lost Hunter on the video, or am I just missing him?
No, he just texted me and said we lost him. I thought he was just doing an annoying smile, but nope.
Yeah, so Kayla would go back to BlizzCon with me. I know she would. Yeah. I don't know that I'll ever compete in TwitchCon again. I think if I really did it and I had the time, I think I have the potential to win for sure. I really do. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way. It's just that I've learned so much from competing in those competitions that I know what they're looking for as judges. And my capabilities, what I can do now, especially with my previous costume, Anduin Wren, the entirely 3D printed, start to finish, 3D modeled by me, full suit of full under tunic of chainmail, helmet, LED lights, smoke.
You do a lot more with
if I went for it again, if I picked the right costume, I think I could win. But honestly, I don't have the time. My kids are older now. There's a lot more responsibility that I have.
Yep. Life changes as we go. It's not a negative thing. It's just different. Yep.
Yeah. Right. I'm happy with my life and my business, and it would be great. And I think I will compete one of these days if I find the time, but I have to put everything else on hold to concentrate on a big build like that. And that's me turning down money from my family, turning down clients and stuff like that. So it's just a hard decision to make to go back into that competition aspect.
Yeah, and we've learned, with even with this endeavor, anything creative, you kind of have to be in that zone too. It's not like you can't really turn it on, turn it off. When you're in the zone of creating something, you're kind of in it and you're making it happen. It's hard to stop it. Okay, I'm going to take a week off and come back to it. Then you got to refine what was going on in my head. What was I wanting to happen with this? All that kind of stuff. Man. And then same thing, like you said, with the experience of staying on top of it and making it better and better. That first piece of art or whatever you created, you're probably always going to hate, as you move forward, because it's, there's that process of you get better and better at it.
When you look back at it, it'll look like trash. You don't necessarily hate it because it was your stepping stone.
Yeah, like we
compared to as you get better. Yeah,
we listened to episode 1 of this podcast a while back. Just turn it on just for fun, and it was like, ugh, can't
guys,
believe
it. I've got to call out my buddy. He just spoke up in the stream.
Yeah, go for it.
Stalkertron, what is happening, dude? I don't know how long ago it was whenever you wrote that message, but dude, it's awesome to see you type in chat, hear from you, man. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, that's awesome,
dude. This guy right here is ultra famous. Like, I'm not even kidding. I stumbled across him on Twitch. I had no idea who he was. He came into my stream one day, and have you ever seen that YouTube video, YouTube channel, Aw Me? And they do, but anyway, they host other creators doing things. Have you ever heard of the YouTube videos called Man at Arms Reforged? They create full-blown blacksmithed weapons from video games.
Yeah, I have seen that.
This is the dude right here. This is Matt Stagmer.
Really?
He's one of the brothers of Baltimore Knife and Sword.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
He like makes freaking Assassin's Creed weapons, World of Warcraft weapons,
like legit.
Game of Thrones, like full-blown steel forged freaking stuff, man. This guy.
That's cool.
dude. So
Well, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, man, hit us up.
dude, if y'all want to, dude, he's a
For
gamer.
sure.
He's been gaming as long as I have or longer. I mean, he's been playing Counter-Strike. He plays PUBG. He plays,
So he's
dude, you
competitive
name it,
gamer.
he plays. He plays it.
That's cool.
We game together from time to time. He's been trying to get me to play some Ark Survival Evolved. I got all the different all the games and expansions. I just haven't had the time to play it. But dude, seriously, if y'all want to get a guest that makes me look like a joke, you need to get this guy on here.
Yeah. We'll have to reach out to him. Might have to use you as a hookup.
Oh, I can help you out.
How to get him on. Ark Survival. I want to play that one. So
yeah, we've talked about that one quite a bit.
If you do play it soon, let us know, because we've been wanting to jump into that and try that one out. You know how it is when you're budgeting. It's like, well, I want this game and I want that. A lot of games that we want to play. Just,
I hear you.
A lot of times, even when you have the money, you're budgeting time, like he's talking about with the cosplay
exactly.
stuff.
Time is money, man.
Yeah, that's right.
I completely understand.
For us, it's usually Friday and Saturday night if we're not all busy, from like 9 to midnight or 1. You know.
Right.
And then that's like pushing it because we're so tired the next day. I'm just going to run through real quick and make sure I didn't miss anything else that I wanted to ask you. So you mentioned you had a son. How many children do you have total?
I've got 2 kiddos. I've got a 11-year-old daughter. Her birthday is actually today. We woke up early this morning, took her shopping, took her to lunch. You know, we hung out with her all day. Got back home around 5, and I was tinkering around in my office upstairs that I'm building out. But so plenty of time spent with her today. And I told her ahead of time that I had this coming up. So she was very supportive, as my whole family is. But my daughter's 11. My son's 3. He'll be 4 in August. And they're amazing, man. This is the greatest thing that I've ever done in my life, is be a dad.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's the greatest
every
thing.
day is something new. And
or they'll push
I hope
you in a
I'm
way
doing
you didn't
things
think
right.
they would.
I hope I think I'm doing things right. I'm really trying hard. I really am, man.
I think that's the key, trying to do things right. If you there's dads out there that just don't care, and then you're not doing things right. But if you're trying to do things right, then you're going to be doing right by your kid compared to most people, anyways. You know what I mean?
And the
I hear you.
And the great thing about your kids is they're usually going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Even kids that have parents that are not good at all, right? You know, ex-drug addicts, abusers, whatever. Even then, the kid later on in life still, even as adults, sometimes gives them the benefit of the doubt on things. So, obviously we strive to be awesome, epic.
Yep.
Right.
But, I mean, a lot of times
there's going to be things we do that our kids like, wow, you guys sucked. You were horrible. Why'd you do that? And they're going to learn something better every generation.
As long as my kids turn out better than I am.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah,
I want my kids to be better than me in every aspect of life.
Yeah.
And that's my goal.
That's good leadership.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
That is good leadership.
But yeah, man, I mean, my kids, I'm so proud of them. I can't say enough about them. I mean, I know y'all feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one. She's 6, and she's about to be 7, and we just had another one. She's 7 months right now.
Congratulations,
behind
man.
you,
That's cool. Both girls. Clint, how many? You got 2 girls?
Yeah, I got 2 girls. I got one
both girls for me, too.
Hunter,
one
what
with
about
a
you?
boy is Hunter down there.
I got one little boy.
Oh, that's cool.
He's
Some
not
days
little,
you'll wonder
Hunter.
why.
Don't lie. He's
Yeah,
not
right.
little.
He's a beast. He's gonna be like 6'2", 6'3", something like that.
Cool.
He is. He's
He's
huge.
gonna be a linebacker or a tight end.
I already told him. I said we're hiring your son for security duty for my daughters.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Literally, he's not quite a year old yet, but you put him next to my 1-year-old, and it's just like looks like a 2-year-old next to her.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah, I'm pretty tall. I'm 6'3", and my son is he's pretty tall for his age. He's taller than all of his kids that he was in class with. He went to like a little Mother's Day out 3 days a week, and he's 3, and everybody thinks he's 5, and we're like carrying him around. And they're like, why are you carrying that 5-year-old? Like, no, he's 3. He's a little guy.
Same with my kids. I think he's 30-something inches.
Wow,
that's crazy.
He's 9 months old.
Wow.
He's like, Dad, I'm hungry.
complete opposite. My daughter Aurora, she was I want to say she was 43 pounds for over a year. It didn't change. She just stayed 43 pounds. And then all of a sudden she finally started growing this last year.
Yeah.
She's finally 53 pounds. But I think for like a year and a half, she stayed 43 pounds. And she's still, she height wise, she looks like a maybe 4-year-old, 5-year-old, somewhere right in there. But she's about to be 7. She's just a little. We're short people though. My whole family's.
I know Claire's wearing, because you guys gave us some clothes. Claire's wearing some of Rory's clothes now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
the one she wears like right now, she just got out of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
dude, that's the best when you have, friends that have kids that are relatively, the same age or a little bit older, so you can hand me down clothes. Because man, I feel like I'm constantly buying clothes for my kids because they're constantly growing out of them. You know what I mean?
And they always look nice too, except for like their junk play clothes, like the regular good clothes, always look brand new still. Like, that doesn't fit you anymore.
Oh, you know what my wife did? Claire has a Spider-Man shirt that she loves, and she got too big for it, and my wife was able to go and find it in a bigger size and buy it.
Nice.
I was like,
Nice.
really, babe? And she's like, well, it's her favorite shirt. She should just be able to wear it. Keep wearing it.
Right.
So we're gonna buy identical clothing, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, why not?
Change it up.
Dude, our whole family today, all 4 of us, we wore tie-dye shirts that we made a few months back.
Okay. That's all.
Yeah,
Hey,
my
Goosey,
wife is
thanks
always
for joining in, man.
Oh man. And then I was just going to ask, have you had a chance to play any video games with the kiddos? Are they either one of them into gaming? Even board games?
My son is all about Mario Party on the Switch. All about it.
Oh yeah.
Mom gets home. Hey, Mom, when we're done eating dinner, we're playing Mario Party. Like he decides.
Yeah.
I'll call my wife in the middle of the day because the kids are home right now and I work from home, so I've been hanging out with them a lot. I'll call my wife at work and he'll be like, Mom, when you get home, we're playing Mario Party, and he's 3. Like it's, he's, every day it's Mario Party. We're playing when we get home. And that's really mostly what we play with the family right now. My daughter and I, she likes to play The Sims, so we'll build houses together and stuff like that. And she'll play the little
thanks
characters.
for joining the live stream. The reason you can't talk is because only the actual hosts and guests can talk. And then everybody else who joins in is just listeners right now. We just switched over and started using Discord for it. We used to just use, what's it called? Clean feed, and other people couldn't join. So we decided to start using Discord. But yeah, anybody who's not a guest or a host on that particular episode is just listening in. You can chat, you can text, but you can't, your voice can't be heard. It's not because we don't like you or we don't love you. Just letting you know.
You can use the. We do have the chat though on the right that you can use, the general chat for the podcast.
Yeah, you can become a guest just by hitting us up, either Clinton or me or Hunter. We're the hosts on the show, and we bring people on that are dads or have epic dad stories, or they're involved in gaming to any extent, whether it be esports or things like that. We bring a guest on about once a month, so you can definitely hit us up, and we can definitely get you in as a guest.
Yeah, definitely. And then, so you were saying that your daughter's into The Sims. I've been thinking about getting Claire into that when she gets a little bit older, but we've been trying out a little bit of Minecraft.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
So
that's cool, man. I like Minecraft. A lot of people don't realize it, but you can actually build an entire working computer in Minecraft.
Oh,
really?
Wow.
Yeah, there's some really intricate things that you can do with Minecraft. It's a lot more in depth than people think that it is. It's really pretty awesome. So I think Minecraft is a great place to get started because you've got that do this to do this, hard work. You put something into this and then you can build this. I mean, there's a lot of I feel like people underestimate the knowledge that you can gain from gaming and problem solving skills and stuff like that. But I've been a gamer since forever, so I mean, I'm definitely a gamer.
My daughter's reading and spelling increased greatly from Minecraft. She was already decent at reading, but as soon as I quit telling her, no, I'm not going to help you find that, whatever it is, obsidian or whatever, you're going to find it yourself. Oh man, it was just like, because she had a goal, she had a reason to read.
Exactly.
And it just accelerated like crazy for her. So now she just can handle it all on her own. She loves it. Great for creativity.
Yeah.
She knows how to spell obsidian.
Yep.
She does.
There you go.
Hey, that's what WoW did for me in my college years. I mean, it did take away from probably my GPA average because of the time I spent playing it, but my typing skills got much better because I was playing the WoW life. That was before the Discord days. You had to find what was it? What was the name of that?
TeamSpeak.
TeamSpeak. Yeah.
Ventrilo.
Yeah.
Mumble.
Had to
I've
pay a
used them all.
service to get on.
Yeah. Xfire, TeamSpeak, Ventrilo, Mumble. I'm sure there's a couple out there that I'm missing, but yeah, I've been through all of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have to give you credit right now, Jake. I'm just going to throw it out there. Jake is the reason that I ever even got into fantasy games. So right before I moved, my freshman year, we moved after my freshman year was up, I was wanting to get into some fantasy games. And I had only mainly played GTA, pro wrestling games, some of your classic stuff, and I was like, well, I want to get into fantasy, but I don't know what's a good game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I reached out to Jake, and he was like, you need to get Fable. Fable's where it's at. It's a good starter. It's a good place to start. And from then on is what turned me over to enjoying.
I guess that's what got us both into it then, because me and you both fell in love with Fable.
When I moved back, I had the game. I mean, you played together, right?
Dude, slow clap for Fable, man.
Yep.
Like, come on, man. Dude, Fable was the shit back in the day.
Well, that was before they had
way ahead of its time.
That was before they had Peter Molyneux out there saying, you can get an STD off this game.
Everything's going to be so amazing.
Yeah, you can get her pregnant
and then Fable 2 just was horrible.
You can play together, and then here comes your bubble buddy. It's like, wait, where's your character?
You can play with your friends. No, you can't, you liar.
It's a whole bunch of lies.
Dude, such a good game.
I never got to touch Fable 3, though. How was Fable 3? Did you get to play it?
It wasn't as good. I don't think it didn't have the appeal.
Number 1 just had that magic to it. They just landed in the bottle.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it kind of felt like it was going to be a big thing that was going to be around forever, like Zelda. Mm-hmm. Like it felt like they did that big of a game, and then all of a sudden just screwed the pooch.
Out.
Yep.
Just bad planning, over promising.
Yeah.
Still,
Fable 3 was kind of garbage.
Was it? See, I never touched Fable 3 because I was still mad about Fable 2.
Yeah, same for me.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I was like, that was one of those, I'll get that off the used rack at GameStop.
Yeah.
Hey, with where we're at right now, Clint, are we wanting to do news tonight still, or we want to get straight to the game with Hunter, or what are you thinking time-wise?
I say let's just let her roll. Just head right into news.
All right.
With that.
My news is going to go fairly quick. I don't have any in-depth stories, but there's some things I want to let the people know,
Okay. Sounds good to me. Let's head on over and do the news.
All right.
Leaks for Geeks.
I'm going to grab a drink, gentlemen. I got a wireless headset, so I can still hear you if you need anything.
Okay.
All right. We're here with the news. I'm going to start off with some special deals.
I just want to give a shout out real quick to Goosey. He said that he started. It's where he started. Was it Minecraft or was it WoW? Which game you talking about, Goosey? Just let us know. I want to give him a shout out on our Discord server.
He said MC.
Minecraft, yep.
Oh, it sure is right there. Yep. Well, I'm not with the whole abbreviation life, I'm the older dad, the older mentality over here.
He just said it right when you asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't say it.
He didn't miss it. He just answered you.
Anyway, the first I'm going to hit you guys with some quick deals, okay? Mm-hmm. There's some premium games that are out, and they're, when I say premium, meaning kind of top games, but they're big packages, right? Okay. Like That's Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six Siege, they're gold editions. So I'm thinking that these are all of the same, what do you call it? These are all Ubisoft, I think. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think
Ubisoft?
Ubisoft, that's what I said.
I never can say it right.
Yeah, it's Ubisoft. We proved it.
We've always said Ubi.
Okay, so first you've got Assassin's Creed Odyssey Gold Edition, okay?
Okay.
That's a big package edition that comes with it. It's $100 usually. It's $33 right now. So these are some pretty big discounts if you've been looking at getting one of these. Assassin's Creed Origin Gold Edition. It's usually $100. It's $25 right now. The Division 2 Ultimate Edition, it's $20 off, usually $80, but it's $60 right now. Far Cry New Dawn Ultimate Edition, it's usually, are you guys listening? $130, and it's $39 right now.
Oh, wow.
So that one has got a huge discount on it. For Honor, the Complete Edition, that one's usually $110. It's $36 right now. Ghost Recon Breakpoint Ultimate Edition, it's usually $120. It's $42. And then we got Ghost Recon Wildlands Gold Edition. It's usually $80, and it's $40 right now. Rainbow Six Siege Gold Edition. It's usually $55. It's $30.
Okay.
Rainbow Six Siege Ultimate Edition. It's usually $90, and it's $49. All of these are big discounts on this list. So South Park, the Fractured Butthole Gold Edition is usually $80.
That title gets me every time.
It's usually $80, and now it's only $20 for a golden fractured butthole. So
Hey,
that's a good
they're
deal.
so genius with their
Yeah.
comedy. They really are.
That was
I know
good.
that they can be front forward like sometimes, but they are
Front
so
forward
funny.
or back?
Or in this case, for the rear forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's not. It's fractured but whole. Like they're not
That's-
saying the real word. It's
That's what she
Yeah,
said.
it's fractured butthole. Yeah, I get it. It's just
Yeah.
one T. There's one T
play
on the
on,
butt.
play on words.
Yeah. Trials
Keep
Rising.
on with these big packages. I want to hear more.
Trials Rising Gold Edition is usually $30. It's $15 right now. And Watch Dogs 2, which we've talked about, this is their Gold Edition. It's $90 usually. Right now it's $22. So that might be one that's like,
Might
that's
have to go ahead.
some good deals there if you've been looking
cha-ching
at
it.
playing any of those games.
And those are all like the nice editioned ones. So
Yes, yep. And these are can all be found. You can find that list on GameSpot.com if you want to jump on there. On the intro, I know you guys heard me say that's one sneaky Viking, which when we think of Vikings, we don't think sneaky. But I do got to tell you that if you've played Assassin's Creed and you're excited about the new Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I am, I look at the cover and the previews, and it just makes me think of the show Vikings. If you haven't watched the show Vikings, I love it. And it makes me think of that. But they're bringing back the social stealth and wrist blade insta-kills.
yes.
They're bringing both those back for a Viking, which people did not expect because he's a Viking. But, Vikings are sneaky little devils. So that stealth style, if you like that in the Assassin's Creed editions of past that they took out, they're bringing it back for Valhalla. So that's something to be excited about. That game looks great. I really am excited about that game. I don't even get excited about single-player games very often, and I've watched some of the previews for it, and it just looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that
Telling
trailer
you,
got me
they're
hyped.
doing a good thing by bringing the lore into it.
Yes, definitely. I was going to say next here on my list. Oh, it loaded up. Yep. Okay. This is something that I'm not the only one that thought was coming because it's been kind of the new thing to do. And that is ranked mode, right? And bots in battle royales, right? That's the thing that they're all kind of doing. Well, now PUBG joins the party. PUBG update 7.2 brings bots and ranked mode. And so it can kind of set you up as you go. And so it's not just crazy hard when you start off. And you can progress through skill sets and skill levels and basically move up against better and better guys. So I think that's a good thing that they brought into any of these kind of setups. I don't even know what the first one to do that is. I think that might have been the Call of Duty on mobile. Call of Duty Mobile might have been the first one to kind of do that bot ranked setup where they weed out the bots and bring in real people. People just loved it. So I think that that's kind of playing off of
I
that.
think I saw that on Fortnite first. But that
You think it
doesn't
was
mean
Fortnite
did
first?
it.
Maybe it might have been.
I hopped on Fortnite for the first time in a long time, like a couple months ago, and they had the bots in there. And I thought I was doing great, and then I realized it was bots, and I got a little bit sad. But
Yeah, right, exactly. Because you're
I was
thinking,
like, I'm so good now.
I'm so
And
good.
then I realized that
Exactly.
guy was running towards me and not building at all while I was shooting at him. It's
Right,
like,
and you're like,
okay.
oh, it's a bot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
That's
stuff
how a lot of people
I
did
like to I
on the
like
Call
to
of
just
Duty
act
mobile.
like it's real.
They thought they were just beasts.
I like to just pretend, hey, yeah, that's the real guy I just killed.
Mm-hmm.
No big
Just
deal.
ignore the fact. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore the fact that I suck at shooters. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This one I'm just going to shoot over quickly instead of playing the video. But you guys could check it out for sure. We've talked about the Unreal Engine 4 before, which is already ridiculous in its photorealism and the ability to basically create live. What would you call that? Live rendering, right, for the games rather than
I
having to
posted
go
it
in
anyway.
and code every single part of it. They've now released some demos and some live gameplay for the Unreal Engine 5.
It looks sweet.
And
Let's just say it. It looks.
oh
really
yeah,
good.
it looks amazing. Now I did read that if you system to be able to handle it, you do need to have top of the line graphics card, obviously, but also they recommend a really fast SSD also, which is a big part of its processing power. And then right now they've got this little live demo that you can check out is actually on that's being played on the PS5. So when the PS5 comes out, I think you'll be able to start to see some of the implementations of the Unreal Engine 5. My understanding of Unreal 4 and 5 is basically the best way to describe that would be AI rendering. Does that make sense? Because basically what they're saying is they're able to take what they would usually use for video editing, and instead of having to convert it and hand code and hand work that into a game, the game is able to take those exact same shots and overlays and things like that and convert it into real-time 3D graphics. That's my understanding of that. I'm not an in-depth gaming designer, but it's supposed to be pretty groundbreaking. You have any input on that, Shepard? You might know more about that than I do.
I've dabbled in the Unreal Engine, man, and that already Unreal 3 and 4 are insane. Unreal 5, dude. I'm looking at these images that you're sharing on the live stream.
Oh yeah,
Dude, this is absolutely nuts, man.
Phenomenal,
You know what I
isn't it?
wish they would do so bad is recreate. Have y'all seen the renders in the Unreal Engine of like fan made Orgrimmar in World of
Yes, I
Warcraft?
have.
yes. Oh
Dude,
man,
the 3D
Can you
that's crazy.
imagine if World of Warcraft was recreated in the Unreal Engine?
Oh yeah,
Oh, it'd be
How
insane.
just insane that would be.
Yeah.
Imagine if they had a game like that recreated in the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
people would stop living in the real world. We'd start to
yeah.
see that sci-fi stuff going on where people just stay
This
connected.
right here that I'm looking at, though, I didn't hear what game this was at the time. I was on my way back to the PC.
I think it's just a demo. I don't think it's
just a demo.
it
Yeah,
looks
they
kinda-
just
it
made
looks-
it to
looks
show.
kind of Lara
It looks-
Croft Tomb Raider
yeah.
to me.
Raider,
Yes.
Yeah.
This gameplay and footage and style and stuff like that. This actually reminds me of Force Unleashed. Not Force. Is it Force Unleashed?
Mm-hmm.
The newest Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah. I've actually played that, dude. If y'all haven't played that,
It's good.
oh my goodness, you need to play that game.
We
It's a
talked about it on the
fantastic game.
podcast.
I've played it.
I haven't played it yet.
I played it at a friend's house, and it's a very
It's
amazing game.
insane. It really is, and the graphics are like this. Eerily similar. I mean, obviously this is a little bit more advanced because it's the newer engine. Newer engine.
Yeah.
But it almost looks exactly the
It's
same.
very, very close. Yeah, I was
said
amazed
that-
by the graphics in the Force Unleashed too.
They said the main two things, I think, I have to remember the second part actually, but the main thing that they first introduced into this was basically an automatic lighting. So it takes in real time and will adjust. If you were to put this light here, it's going to put it all the way into 8K
Proper shadows.
rendering and proper shadows,
Okay.
and to the extent that it's completely not having to be hand done anymore.
Okay, so the light itself will automatically just react to any object you're throwing in
Right.
in the game,
Mm-hmm.
particles and things. That's really cool. I did see a video of some guys talking about they had gotten down into like the pixelization. Like I guess current stuff they use triangle pixelization. This
Right.
would
Yeah.
be a
Same
little
thing
bit
for
different.
this.
But they were talking about, I guess there's a different way that they load it in, and so it would just take some time for the game developers to get used to this new process of how they're running. I don't know if it's in the actual coding or what, but they kind of acted like the infrastructure would change a little bit when you
I'm
upgrade
sure.
to this Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, because I think they said they have a whole new process in the actual rendering of the textures.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different setup, and it does still work with triangle pixels,
Dude,
but I don't really know
great.
the details of it.
Oh,
yeah, this is
fantastic.
beautiful.
Yeah,
It's definitely. I mean, Force Unleashed was used. They use the Unreal Engine as well, but
Mm-hmm.
so
they're
it
using
does
number
look similar.
4.
But you can tell that this is just in a whole nother class.
Yeah. I think it's just
And
gonna
clearly,
take them
clearly
time
they're
to
really showing off
ramp
the
over.
lighting, the new lighting here.
I
Now,
like it, Ratty.
One of the things they're saying here too is in this lighting that's going on here. Usually it takes a lot of background work to create the effects that lighting's having on all the environment around. To where in this new one, they just create that light orb in the Unreal Engine is doing all that itself. That's the beauty of this new one, supposedly. I'm sure we're talking in layman's terms. A game designer and stuff like that would understand more. But guys, it's beautiful. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
And this makes
the
sense.
stuff
This
that's
just
on its
goes
way
back
is going to be
to-
crazy.
This
Do
goes
you have
back
a
to
link
that.
to this video that we're watching here?
I can
Yeah,
post
that's on
it to you.
PCGamer.com, but I'm sure you can find it on YouTube too.
Yeah, the
Wow,
one,
it
the one
is
on mine
just
just
gorgeous.
Unreal Engine 5 revealed. But I can get I'll send you the link here.
Appreciate it.
I'll actually put
that's
it in
just
the.
incredible.
I'll put it in the Discord chat for you too. But
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, it's we had done a report on some graphics software that was reskinning old games, and so the AI would go through and actually just retexture everything. And they were using this to do like kind of, I guess you'd say, a soft remaster, right? Like not where they go in and rebuild the game, but it was updating. Like I think they were using it for Morrowind was one of them.
Yeah, but it was completely AI built. Yep.
Yeah, the AI they would just plug the software in and boom, the computer just went and did its thing. And,
that's crazy what we're getting to.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of immersive worlds, and we've talked about before some exercise games that Hunter started and never finished.
Yeah, right. As I'm still fat, you can tell.
Yeah,
that was his whole selling point on getting a Nintendo Switch, ladies and gentlemen.
We've got a new VR fitness app called Supernatural. They announced their annual pricing. Yes, I said annual pricing. It's $149 a year for a special entry fee right now, and then it's going to go up to $199 if you pay for the yearly rate. And you say, why would I pay yearly for an exercise game? Well, this is just like your Peloton, right? Which has really done well. If you're in the exercise world, the Peloton is basically you've got a screen built into your bike or your different workout machines, and it's bringing in new workouts every day, new music that they've licensed, from top artists and things like that. And then you've also got real trainers that are giving real experiences every day and working you through exercise stuff. That's actually what they're doing with this, but in VR. It's going to have games built in, kind of like Beat Saber, stuff like that. That's fun to play, and obstacles and stuff to move through while you're moving through the world. But then it's also got training sessions from all kinds of the top trainers in the world, and then it's going to have all your top music, and it's going to be updated constantly with new workouts, new trainers, new music. And so you're paying basically like a subscription, just like you would to a gym. That's kind of the idea there. That's the same thing as Peloton. That's what they've done. So they're following that same model. This is called Supernatural.
Supernatural.
And the subscription for the yearly is how much?
$149.
Okay. So that's still pretty cheap. I mean, if you're going to go get your gym membership right now.
Yeah, and you can do it at home. That's why Peloton's done really well.
Month, so.
Yeah, and I think that's right around Peloton's pricing. So they think they're trying to piggyback off of that into the the gamer world, the VR world. Of course, you have to have a VR headset, Oculus or something like that. I'm not sure if it'll be on PlayStation or not.
This is legit. I've been talking about with my buddies lately that I want to get a VR headset. I don't game that much anymore. I still game. I mean, you know how it is. I mean, you game when you get a chance and stuff like that. But, dude, if I could exercise with some VR, go on a run, like I don't know, man, dude. Seriously, the
Oh, yeah,
possibilities with VR comparatively to what it used to be, comparatively to what it is now.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so different. I have the PSVR, the PlayStation VR,
Okay.
and it's one of them things, man. It's pretty mind blowing as far as
I
what you
went
can do with it.
I went to a buddy's house the other day, buddy I game with from time to time, not time to time, but years. But anyway, I went over there the other day, and he was like, "Hey man, come over. I want you to try my sim rig." And he kind of built a sim rig. He's got for racing. He's got
Oh,
a
yeah.
force feedback steering wheel. He's got the shifter. He's got the 3 pedals, clutch, brake, gas, and he's got a Oculus Rift,
Mm.
and he's got it hooked up. And dude, I sat down in this sim rig. I literally, it felt like I was racing a car, man.
Yeah.
The seat vibrated. I sit down on this. The steering wheel gives you force feedback, and when you go to turn a corner, you spin out, or you get hit from behind, or something like that. It is insane,
Yeah.
absolutely insane. And he's about to upgrade his rig to where it literally tilts side to side,
So
front
it's gonna be
back
like,
when you take
it's gonna be
off.
like going to Universal Studios.
Yeah, I mean that's all he does is race.
That's
All he does
cool.
is races, and it's on iRacing. And iRacing
That's
is
cool.
actually a simulator. They take a big machine and they run them along these tracks, these real legitimate tracks in IRL, and they scan it with lasers. And so in this game, in this simulator, it's the exact track, dude. I'm talking Formula One, NASCAR, sprint car, dirt track, round track, street, road cars,
All that
rally,
stuff.
and he actually let me borrow his steering wheel. And the only thing I've gamed on for like the last 2 or 3 months is this iRacing with him. And I'm telling you, man, I can do it on my 3 monitor setup here at the house, and it's pretty cool because it kind of wraps around me, and I can span the game on all 3 monitors. But this VR stuff, dude, is insane.
Oh, yeah, and it's moving fast.
Yeah, I went to one at Dave & Buster's the other day, a couple months back for a birthday party for one of my buddy's kids, and I walked in this little square room, put on the VR headset, and it's got a cable hanging from the ceiling, and I can walk around and actually move and stuff, and it was cool. But dude, it was garbage, like comparatively to what you can get with the Oculus Rift and Oculus Quest, and these in-home VR headsets, and they're not crazy expensive. That's what's so mind-boggling to me, dude. Did you ever see that movie Gamer?
Yeah.
Yep.
With Gerard Butler?
Oh yeah.
And that kid is controlling him because he's like a fugitive, or you know what I mean?
That's
a
our boy
criminal.
Dexter, Michael C. Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good one. And then whenever what was Ready Player One, I was like, well, that's where we're headed.
Yep.
Dude,
Now,
it is.
the only thing about this exercise situation is this, and I've had the issue with the PlayStation VR. I did Resident Evil 7 with the PlayStation VR. Scariest game I've ever played. I mean, as far as when you're in VR, I swear I pissed my pants a couple times. It was that scary. And so, so what I'm wondering though is when you have that headset, I don't know how the Oculus handles it, but with the PlayStation VR, the issue we were having is it starts steaming up in there. You start sweating. It's already kind of hot, with that headset on. So I'm just curious as to how long you could stand the sweating in your headset while you're doing this workout stuff.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe they're going to have some kind of little pad that goes with it that's washable outside of the little pad that's built onto it.
Thinking of it, you could mod. I mean, I could mod an Oculus Rift headset to where I could actually, put a DC fan on there, just like a fan from the PC. But you can actually get like the,
I see what you're saying.
40 millimeter fans, or
Yeah, you could like install
20
inside it, maybe.
and then you could run a little adapter to where it runs off a really small battery. And I could mod a headset to where it's actually blowing across your eyes or your face, you know what I mean, inside the headset. It's not going to obscure your vision or anything like that, but just enough to where it
keep the
cools you
airflow
down.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, if there isn't something like that, I think that could be something that's added to those headsets rather easily.
Yeah.
My buddy that does race all the time, and he races hours on end, he'll do like, 250 lap races, like NASCAR round track races on this iRacing. And he's like, dude, it's so hot. And I raced for maybe an hour, on his sim rig, and it wasn't that bad to me. But I'm sure there's some adaptation that can be done to make it.
And
more
Right, but that might be different if you're bobbing and weaving and
maybe I don't
actually
know.
full.
I'm curious how it would hold onto your head, because I mean those headsets are pretty secure.
Pretty heavy.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, but they're bulky.
they still have some weight. I mean, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to kind of offset the weight of the headset. You know what I mean?
I think when they can perfect
I don't know.
I think when they can perfect the headset to where we can, like you said, it's not so bulky. You get past some of the, like I said, for me, it wasn't so much the heat. Like I'm okay with sweating a little bit, but it was the actual lenses on the PlayStation VR would start fogging. You'd notice that fog tint to it. But
the screen door effect is the only thing that I really noticed, because the resolution it's high. I mean, you're looking at somewhat 1080p when you're in there.
No, yeah, but it needs to be 4K or 8K.
Yeah, it needs to be a lot higher, because the resolution is so high, not high enough because you are so close. It shows you the screen door, yeah.
When you're moving so much when you're doing the workout games, I feel like you'd get sicker easier if it wasn't a higher quality, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure.
But the good thing is, I think we're right on the cusp of that, right? I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Eventually, like I told you guys before, we're just going to plug it into our brains.
Oh, dude, Elon Musk, Neuralink. I've sitting this entire time, I'm like, all right, here in a minute, you can talk about Neuralink. Here in a minute, you can talk about I'm sitting here waiting for the conversation to get to a point where I can say Neuralink. But seriously, man, did y'all see the recent podcast with Joe Rogan? And had Elon Musk on there talking about Neuralink, and he literally asked specific questions. And he said 25 years from now, you won't even have to talk to people.
Yeah.
You won't have to talk to people. You'll literally just think what you need to say to somebody else.
That might not be a good thing.
But I mean, I'm just saying. I mean,
get myself in trouble.
It's
going to be crazy.
I mean, you'll still be able to talk to people, but not verbally, not with your mouth and making sounds. Literally, you can just think it, and the person that's next to you that has the Bluetooth headset hooked up to their brain will literally know exactly what you're saying. Dude, this whole thing blows my mind, because I'm thinking, how are you going to keep from getting hacked, man? Like,
right.
I mean, if they're linking into your brain with a digital asset with these electrodes,
next thing you know,
manipulated, man.
Yeah,
I think they asked him about
digital
security
schizophrenia,
like that.
you know?
He
the capabilities,
that's a big part of it.
The capabilities are impressive. I mean, think about what you can just pull, how much information you can pull up instantly. But the thought of being connected to something electronically like that, I mean, sure, we're already somewhat cyborgs with our phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
definitely
to have it
in you,
connected to your brain, man, that is a whole nother step, man. That's
for sure.
Is it sad that there's a part of me that does want that, though?
But we can't even fathom
I don't want it, but at the same time, I'm still intrigued.
Yeah.
We always think about how the world's going to be connected, but what we forget is how we're connected to the world. And right now, we're temporarily connected to the world. When we get online, when we get on our Facebook, when we get on Instagram, we do all this kind of stuff. The idea that we would actually have access to Google as if it's part of our brain, right? And the internet as if it's part of our brain, we can't fathom that. And once you experience that, you might go, you know what, the security risk is worth it. Like it's like I'm freaking superhuman, you know.
Just to have instant knowledge.
All of a sudden,
I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that, because by the time if it is 25 years from now, I'm going to be in my 60s. I'm going to be like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to go out in the backyard and you know, like I'm not going to care then. I'm going to be like, I don't care what anybody else is doing.
Maybe unless people are now living to 200. And 60 is 25.
No, you're right. I mean,
we don't know what's going to happen.
I get to go hang out in Second Life, you know.
I don't think the span of our lives are going to drastically increase within the next 25 years. From
I don't either.
No,
80 years old to 200. But I did read an article a while back about a worm where its life cycle, they actually took the genetic part of the place in their genetic code, and they took that out based upon their life cycle and how they evolve, and spliced it into another species, another bug or something like that, and it actually increased that other's species life cycle exponentially. So
Wow.
the concept is exactly the same with humans. If you were able to genetically manipulate our genetic code with a different species life cycle code and put it into a bred human, you could manipulate the length of our lives.
Right. Yeah, I think
Start
we're going to
eating
see
that.
we're going to see some of that, but also from cybernetics,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
So we're going to see a mix of the two. We're going to see genetically altered stuff, and then we're going to see, hey, yeah, sure, I would die, but I've got to. It's going to be like, what's that, Repo Man? We're going to have fake hearts and fake everything. You know what I mean? And we'll just
3D
keep
printing.
going.
You can already 3D print an organ.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
you
do it
already
with
can.
valve replacements and stuff already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
That's insane.
that's
it's
crazy.
it's nuts, man. We're seriously living in Star Trek already. We're just not the ones on the ship.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So our kids may be the ones that get like all the new stuff. You know.
I keep telling my daughter, okay, you got to grow up, you got to be an astronaut, and you're going to be the first president on Mars, and you need to bring your mom and dad with you. Like,
There you go.
that's what my daughter and I talk about all the time. She's so smart.
That's
She
funny.
is. I mean,
All
obviously she can do what she wants, but
Yeah.
I got two more quick ones for you guys, and then we'll go on to the quiz, I guess. Next, we didn't bring up any real negative COVID news. I have some good COVID news. Razer, we all know who Razer is. Gaming mouse and keyboard manufacturer, all that stuff. They're located in Singapore, and they have been working hard around the clock to give out face masks around the world. Actually, they have a completely automated mask production line that they've made. It's no humans in there even making it. And it makes a ton of them, and they have given away. Let's see here. It says that they've given away. It doesn't give an exact amount. They've given away. They've given away a little over 1 million masks around the world, and Razer is pledging to give 5 million masks for free in Singapore to residents over 16 years old, and then they're setting up all kinds of vending machines for these masks that are made just for these masks.
Wow.
It'll be all over Singapore, and after that, looks like after the 5 million have been given, then they'll start selling some at that point based on the need, basically. It says they have the ability to produce, to bring production up to 10 million masks a month.
Wow.
And they'll be able to help supply the rest of the world if there's still a shortage. That's pretty cool to see a gaming company step it up like that.
It's really been cool, just gaming in general. Like the whole gaming community, I feel like has done a lot during this whole situation. It's kind of, we're like, all of a sudden they're the unsung heroes, you know?
Yep.
It's like, stay home, play video games with your friends. And now these companies are donating money and masks.
Well, and they're one of the few companies that are really doing well right now, right? I mean, it's just like I talked to a couple guys that own a pawn shop today, and they were telling me, I said, have you guys closed? And they said no, we're like construction stores, we're essential. I said, I never really thought about that. I said, it's a business for you is probably phenomenal. They said, it's through the roof, right? Because people are getting rid of things they don't need to help, subset their finances, and they're buying things that are cheaper because they don't want to go buy new. And so it's weird how certain businesses in this are just flourishing, you know what I mean? And some are just, they're going belly up. That's what every recession does, and we've talked about that. But yeah, so.
Dude, it's funny to me is like today I ran by Best Buy and I started getting out of my car and this girl runs up and she's like, "Oh no, we're not thinking. Nobody goes inside right now." And I'm sitting here thinking like, did we not just open back up as a state like a couple weeks ago? And I said, okay, so what is it? Well, do you have an appointment? No, I don't. Okay, well, you're gonna have to get in your car and circle around and park in this parking spot. Our manager will come around and talk to you.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, we can't go into Best Buy. But Walmart never batted an eye.
Yeah. Well, they're not. Best Buy is not considered essential.
Well,
Walmart has essential things. Yeah,
I get that.
But there are some
now
places that have opened and some that haven't.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though
I think
they can.
it's their prerogative. Some things they're releasing slowly. So
yeah,
I think it ultimately comes down to the owners right now on some of that stuff.
But I get it for sure. I mean, like we went to Osaka's the other day, and I called ahead of time to see if they were not Osaka's, Yokozuna for Mother's Day sushi. And I called ahead of time, and he said, "Yeah, we're still doing happy hour. We're doing dine-in happy hour, but if you're carry out, you got to get some alcohol with it to offset the cost. And I'm like, okay, well,
Nice.
we'll dine in. I get there, and he's like, oh, we're closed inside. I'm like, I called. Why did you
What
even
the
mention?
heck?
Yeah, and he's like,
Do you
well, you can
understand
sit.
what dine-in means, sir?
Right. He said, well, you can sit at our outside tables. We still consider that dine in. But it was super
Okay.
cold and windy that day, and I was like, dang. Anyways, he honored
worked
his
you.
the
He
pricing
worked
because he gave me the dine in. He said, you know, obviously you're here with your whole family, kids in the car seat. You guys are clearly planning on dining in, so he sold it to me at dining in price. But I thought that was interesting because some places have already opened, some restaurants and stuff like that. And so yeah, some people just have chose not to, I guess.
You know, if y'all don't mind me chiming in here.
Yeah.
It's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
feel. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that business that, you know, falls down the path of, well, we were open and somebody caught something here. Now, whether or not you can prove that that's where you caught something or not,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, it's more of a liability issue, I think, on a business ownership standpoint than it is anything. And I'm not saying that people are insensitive or these businesses are just doing it to cover their ass. That's not what I mean. But it is damned if you do, damned if you don't. Same with the United States.
Yeah.
No matter the
Politicians, they're
administration,
screwed. Yep.
no matter the administration, like them or not, if everybody on mainstream media, the whole world, no matter how blown out of proportion it is or not blown out of proportion, or if you don't
You got to
follow the
handle it.
herd in these situations,
Yep.
you're going to be looked at as somebody that isn't doing enough, or it
Right.
doesn't care, or insensitive.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
We were talking
you know,
about that early on, how basically we thought a lot of these governors and Trump and stuff like that, it doesn't matter whether it's real or as big as it is, just like you're saying. They have to handle it as if it is because people are reacting like it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
And that's the thing, is that I tend to live my life a little bit differently than most of the people I see around me, and I don't mean that in a negative or positive way. I just live a different life. I live in the country. I don't live in the town. You know what I mean? I can't see a house from my house. You know, I eat one meal a day. I have for the last 4 years. I don't eat any more than that. I, you know, just do things differently, and I see people the way that they're reacting. I've experienced some stuff when I was in the military that something like this, I'm like, not a big deal, you know.
Right.
But I understand I have to put myself in the mindset of somebody that hasn't. It's all about based upon perspective. You know what I mean? It's based upon what you've experienced in your life before. And if something like this, which is understandably scary to most people, and their reactions, and based upon the lack of information that we had received from China, based upon it being a communist country that does control their media and what leaves, and being the place of origin and stuff like that, it's damned if you do and damned if you don't. And you know, I'm not the type of person that goes out and wears a mask everywhere I go, but everybody has the right to stay home if they feel vulnerable or more susceptible and stuff like that. And I don't want to hurt anybody or anything like that. But what people don't realize, or at least what not enough people are saying, is that, hey, if you want to stay home, you're a vulnerable person, stay home. Your close family should be able to help you get the goods and foods that you need so that you don't have to go out if you do feel vulnerable and susceptible, you know, more susceptible to the disease. But then at the same time, it's so disheartening to see, you know, business owners, small business owners and stuff like that are getting shouted down and unable to open businesses because they can't feed their family on $1,200.
Right.
They can't,
Well, even
and they haven't had any
businesses
income.
Like, Elon Musk, he just tweeted, I think it was yesterday, he tweeted that they're reopening. We were talking about him earlier, and he said, we're just going to open business, and hopefully if they come to arrest somebody, they'll arrest me. I'll be on the front line.
And I wholeheartedly support that. It's not about making other people, not disregarding other people's well-being, but when it comes down to your safety, you got to take care of yourself, and you got to do what's best for you. And no matter which way you look at it, if the world stays shut down, if what people don't realize, I mean, this is kind of comical and a little bit far-fetched and out there, and majority of people don't think this way. Somebody posted on social media the other day, man, why does it matter if the if the farmers aren't producing food, I can just go to the grocery store and buy the cereal and stuff that I need. Like,
That's because people are idiots.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
They're
They don't
just
realize
idiots.
I'm
where
just
all that
like,
came from.
come on, guys, we've got to
Yeah.
have people go back to work, because if more than anything, the food production, and we've already seen this when it comes down to meat production, and
Oh,
whether or
especially
not
the
you eat a lot of
suppliers
meat
of
or anything.
restaurants.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, you already see the lack of food, and it's not just based upon people overbuying.
No,
It's
no.
based upon the lack of distribution and the supply chain being interrupted.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
people
can't
aren't
get it out
making
to
that
places.
connection because they are so used to, and I know people aren't this dumb, it's just that they're so used to going to the store and having everything readily available
Mhm.
that they aren't really stopping and thinking, oh crap,
Right.
people don't go back to work. If people aren't working in the fields, if people aren't working combines, people aren't planting crops, if people aren't working these manufacturing facilities or food processing facilities, there
They
is
run out of
nothing to
food.
buy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it
I
goes
see it
back to
firsthand.
even-
I mean, I work at that. I work at a food distribution warehouse. That's my job.
Yeah.
For the church, and we distribute to 80 churches in Oklahoma, 51 zip codes, and all these companies that have been sending us food throughout the whole last year and beginning of this year, they stopped, and it's not because they're being stingy; it's because they're
They
not
don't have it to
anymore.
give. Yeah.
Well, and it's
Yeah.
like,
It's dried up.
and I know in
Yeah.
private,
And
I've
so-
told you guys, like with the mask thing, it's more of a, at this point, it's a safety thing, as in the sense of it gives people the sense of some kind of control. But it's like I told my dad, I said, you can be walking around with the regular surgical mask or a cloth mask. It still doesn't stop the virus from permeating through that material and
Yeah, it
getting
doesn't.
into you.
It
I
doesn't.
said, you have to have the N95 respirator mask. That's the only thing that actually works. Right?
Yeah.
Because before all that happened, we were getting guidelines of don't wear the regular surgical mask. It's not going to work, especially if it gets at all damp. So at this point, you're not really, you may be slowing it down a little bit, but I think it's more of a give people a sense of control.
Peace of mind.
Now,
Peace of
correct me
mind.
if I was
That's
wrong.
control.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Clinton. But I mean, the main purpose for quarantine was not to stop people from getting sick, but to slow a curve for the hospitals.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
that was kind of
And
the
and
main
we've done
thing.
that.
So
At least not everywhere, but most
right.
of,
I think
for
it was
Oklahoma
to give,
in
yeah,
general.
it was to try to give people time to prepare, rather than having having
Correct.
everything
Yeah.
jammed up all at once.
Which
Yeah,
is
and other than
understandable.
Time.
Other than a
Completely
few areas,
understandable.
we've been nowhere near, and we still have never gotten close to that.
Yeah.
Well, you
So,
look
yeah,
at it
I'm
this
with
way
you.
too, is that Clinton says it's peace of mind to wear this mask. It's to give people a sense of control over protecting themselves while they go about their everyday lives, somewhat everyday lives based upon their
Right.
situation, whether we're
Right.
working from home or furloughed or not or whatever. But think about the flip side of that. If they didn't have the availability of saying, all right, guys, wear this mask, you'll be a little bit more protected, and so on. It is lying to us, but think about it this way. If the government said, guys, there's nothing you can do to keep from getting this.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you're gonna have
Don't
pandemonium
wear a
in the
mask.
streets.
Don't. I mean, come on. So
Yeah.
if the flip side of it is at least this way, telling people to wear a mask or whatever is a way to give some people a sense of control or security.
Yeah.
When the flip side of it is, even though the masks don't work, the flip side of it is saying, well, guys, good luck, bro. Like, I mean,
Well,
you know?
there's always those experts out there that are still saying that the mask does work, and so you're gonna err on the side, like we talked about earlier. You're gonna err on the side of safe,
Right.
because
Is it
you're
better
screwed
to
if
wear
you
the
more-
mask or not?
do more than
Right.
what might be needed. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's
Right.
prepare for the unexpected. And yeah, I get it. It's, but we do need to have people working.
I am in the proponent of the mindset of when the fall comes, we can't just shut everything back down. If we get
No,
back
we
on
can't.
our feet,
Dude,
the whole world, it's like,
when it comes down to it, humanity has survived up to this point for the majority of our history without having modern medicine and vaccinations for every type of ailment that's out there. And it is unfortunate. But it is inevitable. We are all going to perish. We are all going to die. And I don't mean that in an insensitive way, but at the same time, throughout this process, there are going to be people that are more susceptible, people that aren't. People are going to die just like any other element that's out there. I'm not saying that it isn't, what it is, but that is what it is.
Did you guys see on Discord? Goosey shared it.
Yeah. That's what I was laughing about. I didn't want Jake thinking I was laughing at him, but I saw that
with
picture,
the air cleaner on top.
Yeah, that's like an air filter
That's
with
good.
the.
Dude, that's a freaking carburetor filter from an old school freaking carburetor vehicle. That's awesome. Oh, dude, that's so great.
Yeah,
all right,
I'm done with my news, Clint.
Yeah.
So
all right. Well,
I want to hear this game or quiz or.
Yeah, that's what we got rolled up next. Hunter is gonna make you feel good inside.
Is this your longest podcast ever?
Longest?
No, we've had some that are crazy like this.
We did what was it? E3. We did an E3 thing where we did.
Oh, dude!
We reported on everything they talked about, and it was
that was like a 4-hour podcast.
Yeah,
but they're usually around an hour and a half, so definitely break it.
We're at like an hour and 40.
I'm gonna break this into part. This is gonna be a part 1, part 2. 40.
No, we're at 2 hours.
Oh, we are. I thought we started close to 8. I thought because of all the issues.
7:45 ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about an hour 49 is where I'm at. But
that's all right.
We had a little pause time, but I'm gonna break it into a 2-parter. It'll release on the same day, but it'll go up on iTunes as part 1, part 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That way they're not so intimidated, Yeah. They can't handle all the shepherd. You know what I'm saying?
No, dude. This has been a blast. I've been on a few podcasts, and this is the most fun I've ever had on a podcast.
That's good to know. Yeah,
dude. Seriously, man, and I hope that y'all just get tons of viewers. I'm gonna post y'all everywhere. Seriously, man.
Right. We love it,
dude.
We appreciate it.
I'm very pumped and so honored that y'all asked me to come on, man. Thank you so much.
We felt like you'd be a perfect fit. So.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into this. Let's get into this quiz.
Let's do it. Yep. We're going to hit the intro to Hunter's gaming quiz. I don't know what it is, and we don't know what to expect.
Just so you know, Shepard, when it goes silent, we're all kind of awkwardly sitting here. On the live stream, there's a transition happening. Some music and stuff.
It's time for
and then we kind of cue back in. In case you didn't, these couple times where that's happened, and you're looking at us like, what are you guys?
Dude, seriously. I'm like, man, these guys just went freaking ghost on me. Oh, man. I have 3 Novas in here from StarCraft. Like, ghosting out on me.
Take it away, my friend.
Yeah. Well, hey, guys, it's time for another gaming quiz. And, Shepard, this gaming quiz is called Easter Egg, or am I pulling your leg? And this is how it works. I am an Easter egg fanatic when it comes to video games. I love them. I sit in some of my free time and just watch videos on Easter eggs. I like the secretive aspect of them, that they're hidden, that people have taken their time to program them in, stuff like that. And so what this game is I think I have 12 questions tonight.
Okay.
And what they are is they're an Easter egg scenario. And some of them are true and some of them are fake. I've made them up. And so what I do is I recite what the Easter egg is, and you have to tell me if it's an Easter egg or if I'm pulling your leg. And,
so do I need to like pull up a Word doc or something like that and follow along, and then at the end I read off or compare with the answers? Or we're doing it live?
We'll do it question at a time live.
You'll say
now,
3, 2,
are we
1,
doing like round circle or round robin, or who gets the question, who gets the answer?
I would just let you answer one at a time, but Clinton likes to cheat, so
we're gonna have
to either
everybody put your hands in the air to prove that you're not Googling anything.
Got me with
they say I got you with the cookie.
What is that? A freaking White Castle burger?
No, that's a PB&J.
Oh, you are fat.
PB&J bagel.
Yep.
PB&J bagel bite, man. That's
that
legit. I didn't even know those things look.
Jake's over here like I eat 1 meal a day. Ryan's like I eat 5.
I didn't mean it like that, guys. Come on now.
No, it's okay. We know we got fat.
No, okay. So, anyways, what we do here is he reads the question. When we all say we're ready, he'll give us a 3, 2, 1, and we all say it at the same time. either Easter egg or pulling my leg. We can all hear it. We know what happened, and then he keeps track of the score.
Okay.
Keeps people honest.
Okay, gotcha.
And he'll always pause. He likes to pause and make you wait a little bit.
Anticipation.
Pisses me off.
All right. Well, you guys ready?
Yeah, let's
You
do
guys
it.
ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the first Easter egg on my list is from the game Layers of Fear. So Layers of Fear, you will find a door in the basement that is locked. If you stumble down in the basement between the 28th and the 31st of October, the door will actually be unlocked. And in this room is a single table with a Ouija board on top. If you go and enter in certain codes, then a giant head will come out of the floor that has tentacles on it. Is this an Easter egg, or am I pulling your leg?
I've never heard of this game, so I'm kind of out in the fucking wind here. Sorry, am I supposed to cuss on this show? My bad.
You're right.
Okay.
I don't know
fine.
that any of us have heard of this game.
Layers of Fear, I've played actually. It's
What console is it on? Or is it
it's a
console or
PC.
PC?
It's on all of them. It started as an indie game, I think, on PC, and then slowly came out on some of the consoles. But it's just a walkthrough horror game.
Clinton's over there
got good art.
Googling right now.
That's what I'm telling you,
Look
bro.
at telling you.
No, I was
He's cheap.
I was messaging one of the listeners, and I think he's
Yeah.
a talent or something. I heard him popping in, so I was going to let him know I muted him for now.
Yeah.
Called him out.
Yeah, you'll see. Clinton's a little dirty.
When's the countdown start?
Do we need to hear it again, or are we all ready?
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
That's a pretty intricate story there.
That is. I think I know the answer, though.
Okay, you guys ready for the
Cursing
countdown?
All right.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Easter egg.
Tree egg.
Was that all Easter eggs?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you guys are correct. That was an Easter egg, so y'all got
Yeah, I
to
thought it was too detailed to be pulling my leg.
Oh, he's good. Trust me, he's good.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
hey, I'm new here, so if I lose, I'm new here.
You'll be just like me. I lose every time. No big deal.
All right, let's see. And next one is in the game Mr. Mosquito. If you spin your right analog stick 30 times in a row, it opens a mini game called Reckless Cyclist. In this game, your goal is to knock the opposing player off of a giant tower while you're both on bicycles.
Okay, what game is this again?
It's called Mr. Mosquito.
Where are these games coming from, man? Like, come on. I've been a gamer my entire freaking life, bro. Since before games were a thing on the internet. And I've never heard of this game
Some of them
ever.
are big and some of them are kind of,
Obscure.
this is actually a game from Japan, and I've featured it on some of our quizzes before, actually. You guys remember the Is This a Real Game or
Is this
not?
a real game? Yep,
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Mr.
Yep.
Mosquito was on that list.
And it was a real game.
I
This is
freaking
a-
love y'all's podcast. This is awesome, man. This
Mr.
is so
Mosquito
freaking cool.
It's a game about being a mosquito. You fly around this family's house, and you're a mosquito. You suck blood, and that's
Trying not to get swatted. You try not to get swatted.
Oh, dude.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so I'm ready on this one.
Mr. Mosquito, read the freaking thing again. I don't.
Okay, in Mr. Mosquito, if you spin your right analog stick 30 times in a row on the, what is it called, title screen, okay, it opens up a game called Reckless Cyclist. In this game, the goal is to knock the opposing player off of a giant tower while you're on bicycles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm ready. Count it
I'm
down.
ready.
So this is like the Mario thing where you can pinch his cheeks and stuff in the old Nintendo 64 days, right?
3, 2, 1.
Pull my leg.
Pulling my
Pulling
leg.
my leg.
All you guys go with pull my leg?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was a real Easter egg. So you can get a pull my leg.
Oh, well, I didn't know shit
Dang.
about the game. I'm just guessing, so it's 50-50.
That's great.
I've always
Okay.
liked flies better than mosquitoes anyway.
Goosey got it right. He's playing on Discord.
Yeah, I've seen him there.
Let's-
All right.
Dang, he's fired up over here, Goose.
He is. He's beating
In,
us right now.
here's one you guys got to know. In
Okay.
Battlefield,
Mm-hmm.
on the jungle level, you can venture off the trail into the jungle. When you push further into the trees, you'll find a metal hatch in the ground. This metal hatch looks very familiar to the hatch in the hit TV show Lost.
Hmm.
Is this an Easter egg or am I pulling your leg?
I'm ready.
He's always
You guys
with the
ready?
TV references.
3, 2, 1.
Pull my leg.
Easter egg.
Ooh. I was pulling your leg. I made that one up.
Man, did y'all? Dude, I watched all of Lost laying in my bunk in Afghanistan.
Wow.
I'm not even
Lost.
kidding.
It was
When
good.
Lost was out and everybody was into it, I thought it was some like fake survival show, just from like little previews that I saw and stuff. I was like,
You thought it was like a
I was like,
reality
this is
show?
retarded.
this,
I'm
like,
not going to
survival
follow the crowd. You know what I mean? And then,
reality
when I
TV
was,
show.
yeah, and I actually like Survivor, but this looked like acting, and I was like, that's some bullcrap. And I remember thinking, this is so retarded. Why does everybody love this show? And I just never watched it. And then like maybe 5 years after that, I was looking at like top 10 like sci-fi shows because I like shows like Fringe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was on there, and I was like, what? And I watched a preview, and then I just binged it. Just freaking loved it.
He didn't freaking do anything for 3 weeks, man. He just watched Lost.
He's that guy too. Like, hey, you watched Tiger King yet? No, I haven't watched it. 3 years from now on the podcast, he'll be saying, hey, did y'all ever check out that Tiger King show? I binged it. 7 episodes. Amazing. Ryan, that was 3 years ago. Man.
Oh, dude.
I know, but it was so good. It was #1 in the charts.
All right, me and Clint
right.
are up by 1. What do we got next?
Yes. And the next one is Gears 3. Gears of War 3. Okay. If you beat the game, you unlock Insanity difficulty. If you go on the Insanity difficulty and in the prologue stay right by your friend Glam the whole time, the game will start and every character will have a bushy beard. And I mean every character, even the women. Is this an Easter egg or am I pulling your leg?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
That's a good one.
3, 2, 1.
Pulling my leg.
Pulling my leg.
Okay. Ryan said pulling my leg. Shepard said pulling my leg, right?
And
Clinton said what?
Egg. Easter egg.
Clinton, dude, why'd you do that? Pulled away, Clinton.
Did he?
That was an Easter egg.
No way, dude.
Wow.
Bushy beard.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that. I wouldn't expect the bushy beard.
Man,
Bushy
I'm in last
beard.
place right now. What a bum.
That's right. So, are you guys ready for the next one?
Yeah, I'm ready.
In the game called House Flipper, you can find
Wait, there's a game called House Flipper?
Yes.
I know. I never even heard of it.
It's exactly what you think.
Yeah,
it is.
it's the predecessor to Farming Simulator.
Yes. It's kind of cool. They have in this game, they have like, some, they have like houses in it that are modeled after different, like they have the house from Home Alone in it.
Oh, really?
The very first one. Yeah. They don't openly say that's what it is, but it's modeled just like it.
Okay.
So, in the game called House Flipper, you can find an old painted wall in the lone home property. And it looks suspicious. If you knock it down using your hammer, you'll find some human remains that you were not supposed to find. Is this an Easter egg or am I pulling your leg?
Obviously, it's Marvin Harry.
Wait a second. What's the point of the video game?
You flip houses. Like you go in and you clean all the house up and remodel, put new furniture in. House Flipper. Then you sell.
So it's a house remodeling sim, basically.
Is it an MMO?
And
Oh.
I'm ready.
No internet connection? On that
Whatever. 50-50. Let's roll.
3, 2, 1.
one? Easter
Pull
egg.
my
Pull
leg.
my leg.
Okay. Ryan said pull my leg.
Yep.
Shepard said pull my leg. And Clinton said Easter egg.
Yeah.
You sure did.
I made that one up.
Dang.
That one was not an Easter egg.
Oh, getting one back, baby. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking
Come on,
about.
one out for two, babe. Let's go.
All
I felt
right.
bad. Clinton
We need to
was
be
way
keeping.
up there, and
We
Ryan
need
was
to
here.
be keeping track of Goosey's score here too. He's in it.
Goosey. Goosey might be like.
I think he's
check,
winning.
Hey, I'll check Goosey.
Goosey's
I'll
the
check-
freaking world champ over here, bro.
Yeah, I'll check
He's
Goosey
like,
at the
"I'm
end
the
of the
goat."
game. And if Goosey wins, we got to have him on.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
So, Let's see here. Our next one is in the arcade game. The arcade game. Remember, keep that in mind. In the arcade game, Mortal Kombat. If you hold down the 3 main action buttons for 30 seconds, the game completely changes into a whole nother game, which is a basketball game where you can push and shove your opponents. Very similar to NBA Jam. Is this an Easter egg? Am I pulling your leg?
Some of these you come up with, man.
I'm going with. I'm ready. I'm ready for this one.
Oh, are you ready? Let's go.
I'm ready.
Because I'm still thinking. I think Shepard's still thinking too over there.
I'm good.
You're good?
Let's roll with it.
All right, let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
Easter egg. Ooh, we all said Easter egg.
Did you really? Yeah, that was so simultaneous. Whatever you say, that Clinton. I didn't even hear him say anything. So, actually, I got you all because I made that up.
Dude,
that seemed too extreme to make up. Seemed too extreme to make up.
This is based off of something that actually happened that was flipped. Okay, so NBA Jam, the arcade game. You got
Goosey too.
NBA Jam, the arcade game, it took 2 or 3 players, but when you started it up on the start screen and you when it was introducing the players, getting the matchup or whatever, that tonight's matchup, if you held down all 3 action buttons, it turned into a tank game.
Oh, okay.
A tank shooter game. There was only 1 player. Nobody else could. It was just 1 player on the arcade, but you could actually do it. Like you walked up to the arcade game. Well, then they found out that they removed them a little while later, so there's only a couple machines that are the originals that you can do that on. So
didn't Mortal Kombat have like a extra blood mode or something if you did a certain
there's
or something?
Mortal Kombat has many cheats in it, and Easter eggs.
I don't know how many points I have. I think I have 2.
Shepard has 2.
You're down by 1.
Mine has 3. Yeah.
Okay, so you're not too far behind.
So the next one, have you guys ever heard of Postal?
Yes. That's freaking Super Nintendo, right?
Okay, I think not quite that old, right?
This is more of like a
raunchy Grand Theft Auto type. Yeah.
Okay.
It's about a postal worker.
Oh,
that
I'm
goes
thinking
postal.
I'm thinking newspaper route or something like that.
Oh, you're
I know
thinking
exactly what
Paperboy.
you're talking about.
Paperboy, dude.
Yep.
That game was the shit back in the day. You remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
oh yeah.
Oh my
1
gosh,
and 2.
dude. Yeah.
No, postal's about a postal worker that goes crazy and just kills
He goes
everybody.
Postal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is actually about Postal 2. So Postal
I don't
2.
know what happened to Postal 2.
In Postal 2, you can find the game developer's office in game. Okay. And if you go into their office, you'll find one of the developers roaming up and down the hallway. After you have a conversation with him, if you choose to whip it out and pee on him, he'll start dancing to some rave music.
What?
Interesting. Very interesting.
Dude, if you made this up, you're a crazy ass.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
Dude,
I'm ready.
I'm gonna bet
ready.
he made this shit up too.
I got my answer. I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Easter
egg.
Oh, forget it. It's pulling my leg.
This is actually an Easter egg.
Oh,
game.
man,
Yeah.
falling farther behind.
I think another thing they did on that, you could put, was it firecrackers or was it just your shotgun? You put it up the anus of the cat.
Yeah.
You like find a cat and you stick it and you blow it up.
Jeez, this is out of control, bro.
You can shoot the cat too, or something.
I like how Clint says up the anus.
Up the butthole, man, right up that rectum there.
That cat really had a fractured butthole then.
Fractured butthole.
All right, so moving on. In the game Area 51, you can find a secret room hidden in the base after walking down the transit track you rode in on. If you enter this room, you will find a crazy weapon. The weapon is sharks with guns attached to their head. This is a nod to Austin Powers.
Wait, read this again. I'm sorry.
Okay, so in the game Area 51, you can find a secret room hidden in the base after you walk down the transit track that you rode in on. If you
Okay.
enter the room, you will find a crazy weapon. The weapon is sharks with guns attached to their heads.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is a nod to Austin Powers.
Okay. I'm ready.
Remember? Freaking laser beams attached to their head.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're really selling that one, aren't you, Hunter?
Rich Clinton tries to read me all the time, and he's never right.
Hey,
so.
me and Clint are tied up right now, so I'm ready to get this one. Let's
The
go.
Shepherd's not too far behind. He can still come up with the clutch win.
Yeah, we're tied up with old Goosey too.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Shepherd? You ready?
No. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
Pull
Easter
my
egg.
Oh, God. Pulling my leg.
That is an Easter egg, Ryan. You pulled ahead,
What
bro.
I'm talking about, son. Give me some of that. Oh, I'm up there with Goosey. Goosey got that one right too.
So we got Clinton at 4, Ryan at 5, and Shepherd's at 2, bro. Come on.
I know, man.
All right.
I'm disappointed.
Hey, if
in
you keep
myself.
hesitating on your answers, Hunter's gonna start calling you a cheater like Clint, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Wait,
Okay, I got you. So it's got to be at the same time.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
I'm messing with you.
Go with your gut.
it
Go
doesn't
with your gut.
matter. It doesn't matter so much with 3 people. When there's 2 people, it's definitely like you're playing
yeah.
the cards.
It only
Yeah,
matters.
yeah,
It only matters when Clint's playing. Let's just.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
Be
when
honest
when
with
it's 2 people 50-50, I mean, you
Right.
can go one or the other. Yeah.
All right. So the next one, in modern warfare, on a specific level, you can find a paper boat in a ditch by a storm drain. This is a reference to the movie It. Is this an Easter egg or am I pulling your leg?
Do they float?
Just one float.
The Easter eggs. Yes, Georgie, they all float.
Wait, which Modern Warfare?
Yeah,
It's
which one
the-
is it?
It's the most current one,
Oh,
or the remaster.
Yeah.
Okay,
this-
let's roll.
all right.
3, 2, 1.
Easter
Pull my
egg.
leg.
What
Easter
did
egg.
Clinton say? Oh, okay.
He waited, pulled a cheat.
See what I mean, Chipper?
Well,
Right there.
Ryan and Clinton were right.
Oh,
That is an Easter egg.
Man,
So I'm
it's
talking
not
about.
my game, bro. Not my game.
It's okay.
I'm shifty. Hey, the only reason they're doing decent is because they've had a little practice with me.
That's true. We've had
Yeah,
a whole
you know.
year of dealing with his bull
The
crap.
first time we
Yeah.
did this game ever, they were just like, they
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
there either. So
Yeah.
Dude, this is an awesome game, though.
I
It
can't
is.
believe some of the stuff you
Legitimate.
make up sometimes.
you
That's what
should
gets me.
know right away that I'm the most creative on this podcast. So,
Awesome.
all right. So the next one on the list is in Apex Legend.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the far northeast corner of the map, you will find a refrigerator with a skeleton in it. This is a reference to the scene in Indiana Jones where he ducked into a refrigerator with when a nuclear bomb goes off. But it's clear in this universe that he did not make it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The old Hollywood magic didn't work, eh?
Yep.
All right, I got my answer.
Is this an Easter egg? Am I pulling your leg?
I'm ready.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Pulling my leg.
Easter egg.
Ooh, Clint might catch up.
Ryan, you're right. I made that up, bro.
No,
Yeah.
you made that up.
I made
That
that, up,
was-
son.
I'm talking
That
about
was
son.
really
Man,
good.
I am glad that I'm not a gambler.
Right, especially at Hunter's Casino, you go broke.
All right, we got-
Goosey got it
How
right
did you
again too.
remember
He's
that?
hanging right with me.
How did
Yeah,
you?
you and Goosey are tied right now.
I just got to say
Clinton.
that's probably your most impressive one yet.
Clinton's 5. Okay.
Those of you who are
And-
listening to the podcast and you're like, who the freak is Goosey? It's just somebody who's joined into the Discord. If you guys
Yeah,
ever want
and
to
he's
join in,
playing
feel
this
free.
game.
Yeah.
Next
It's not
one is
just someone, bro. It's the goose. You got the goat. You got the goose.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just
next
saying.
one is
He's a
Fallout.
Discord listener.
Fallout 76.
Okay.
If you play Fallout 76, you know it's a turd. Is that an Easter egg? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's what I'm just thinking. Actually, Fallout 76 is free to play this weekend. That was
Really?
like, I'm
Yeah.
going to put that in the news.
So go taste that turd, test it out, see what you think.
In Fallout
'Cause I'm thinking about it.
76,
Sorry.
in Fallout 76, in the zone called Somerville Dry Lake,
Okay.
you will come across a dried up lake. If you walk out into the middle, you will also see a sunken boat and a skeleton who is lying on a door.
Okay.
This is a reference to the Titanic. Is this an Easter egg or am I pulling your leg?
2
Ready.
back-to-back movie references. I hate you. You did that on
Been
purpose.
quite a few movie references.
Mm-hmm. He is. This is what he does, though. He lulls you,
I'm ready.
lulls you in. You think you got him figured out, and then nope.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ready?
Yep.
No,
Yep.
I'm not ready. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
Easter
Pull
egg.
my
egg.
leg.
It is an Easter egg. Yeah. Ryan got that right,
Whoa,
and Shepard
I got
that
3
right.
points. Woo!
There
Yeah.
you go.
And that means you
Careful,
pulled,
you may break the sound barrier there.
you pulled away from Goosey. So
Oh, nice. Nice.
Goosey's only got a chance to tie you here, or So here's the last question, and I'm excited to share this one with you because I want to see how you guys react to this.
So it's obviously a pulling my leg one.
Yeah, it's exactly what that was my first thought.
No, that I'm excited to see if you think it's I made
get
it
it.
up or not.
I get
okay.
it. Yeah.
In World War Z,
Oh, we just been playing that one.
on
Okay.
the 3rd stage of the Jerusalem map, you can find a QR code. If you scan the QR code with your phone in real life, it will open a YouTube video and you will get rickrolled. Never
No.
gonna give you up.
No.
Never gonna let you down. Easter egg on my point, you're like,
I feel like I would have heard of that one.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Are you ready, Shepard?
No. Let's go. Count it down.
3, 2, 1.
Pull my
Easter
leg.
egg.
Okay, who said Easter egg?
Me and Clint.
Okay, it was an Easter egg. That's true.
Oh. So they really did
Nice.
that.
For shame. For shame.
Hey, Shepard,
Hey,
I'm
it's
glad I didn't.
respectable that you
I'm
stuck
glad I
on
didn't
there.
go the other direction, or Goosey would have caught up to me. Instead, I got the
Yeah.
win, which happens
That's
very
right.
rare. Very
I'm
rare.
Ryan,
with
you had a
that.
strong
I'm impressed.
night, Ryan.
I did.
I mean,
You
we don't know
got
if
9
Goosey's looking
correct.
it up or not, but hey,
Yeah.
good job,
No,
Goose.
we don't know.
Ryan, you got 9 correct of 12. That was one of
Nice.
your best nights that you had.
I think
Yeah.
they were texting each other before the podcast started. Here's the
I
list.
actually just went with whatever Goosey went with because he was doing good.
Oh, so you were cheating.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Here's the
Hey.
thing, Clinton. We'll never tell you if we're cheating or not. Remember that one time you cheated in the waxing nipple one?
No,
That
I
was
didn't.
like
I did
the-
not get my
yeah.
nipple waxed. Okay, so
Exactly, 'cause
one
you
of our
cheated.
quizzes, the loser had to wax a nipple, and then Hunter got all
Yeah.
brave and he was like, "You know what? Since I'm a real man, I got a lot of hair on my chest. I'll do it too." And then so I won and got to wax both their nipples on
Yeah.
live stream on Facebook.
Man,
Which really wasn't
sounds
fair.
like a sensual
Yeah,
was very sensual.
Hey, here's the thing.
extravaganza there.
It was.
Here's the thing. It really was not even because Ryan is got hair like a baby newborn on his chest, and I'm built like a bear. Like I got carpet on my chest.
Just show it. Just
Oh, yeah.
show it right here on the live stream.
I got some.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I mean,
there was
You know.
blood involved on his.
Yeah.
That's for
yeah,
sure.
little
And you know
blood droplets.
Clinton's baby hands, his soft oily hands, he couldn't get the strip
Was
off
it-
well
It's
enough.
like a
40-year-old
virgin.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Steve
We got
Carell
any more
getting
wax?
They get mad at me because they think I've just been freaking waxing. You know what I mean? Like I have all this experience. No, it's my first time ever experiencing waxing anybody ever. So
Yeah, he totally failed on the strip and left a big old wax like glob and my nipple and
and then Ryan put the wax on top of the fridge and it got dumped, and so now our fridge just has this ball of wax that every once in a while you gotta get the big candy and you get waxing because like I don't know why Ryan had to put that up there.
hey, he waxed your refrigerator. He waxed your
Oh
Xbox.
my gosh.
No, he dropped perfume
If I-
on my Xbox.
listen, Listen,
When I let him borrow
if
it.
I did, which is not confirmed, if I did put it on top of the fridge, it would have been to keep your kid safe because Claire is crazy. And you couldn't leave that hot wax down for her.
I
That would
respect
have been the
that.
worst thing to ever happen.
Thank
Even
you
if it
for
went
calling
hot,
my
she tried to
kid
eat
crazy on the podcast. Appreciate it.
It's only because you have, right? I mean, at that age, most kids are crazy.
Oh,
I
she's
didn't mean
nuts.
it in that
Yeah, she's a
particular-
hellion. Let's just be honest. I love her, but
Well, that's a good podcast. I
that
enjoyed
was. It was a lot of fun. We did a lot.
Shepard, thank you so much for coming on, bro. That was
Guys.
just
I don't think
Good
this is going to
time.
be the last time we have you on either. I think
no,
you
for
know
sure.
Thanks.
we'll have to get you on another time. Just you
I
you
do.
won't have
I'd love
to.
to come hang out.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Just
We had a lot of-
holler at me. I'll make it happen. Make it work. I really enjoyed this. And if y'all ever want a game, guys, seriously.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure we play a lot of the same games. I've got your Discord now. I'll keep an eye on what's in here. I'll send y'all an invite to my Discord.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Hang out after the podcast. We'll talk a little bit after we close here.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you want to check out more, you can find us over on iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Pretty much all other major iTunes or major podcast apps. You can find us there. You can check out our website, www.deliriousdadsgaming. We also post our episodes there. So we will be posting this episode Friday. If you would like to support the podcast, we have a Patreon channel opened up over there with minimum donation being $3. That's as low as I could get it for us to make a little bit of a profit to put back into the show. Yep. And also, Shepard, I'm just going to let you kind of promote your stuff. Where can our audience find, your website, how to get a hold of you, anything like that?
Yeah. You can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/Shepherd Creations. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/Shepherd Creations, Instagram/Shepherd Creations, Twitter/Shepherd Creates, Twitch/Shepherd Creations, shepherdcreations.net. You can find me on find my 3D models on my website shepherdcreations.net. On my Etsy, just go to Etsy, Shepherd Creations, and go to Colts 3D Shepherd Creations.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
And do you have a certain email that you want them to, if they want to reach out to you via email, if they have any inquiry?
Jake@shepherdcreations.net. And love to hear from y'all. If y'all have just any questions about getting into 3D modeling, I do 3D modeling tutorials on YouTube. I live stream on Twitch, and you can come there and definitely ask me questions. Right now, things are kind of up in the air. I don't really have a schedule on Twitch live streaming right now. I'm actually considering moving over to doing live streaming on YouTube rather than on Twitch. But seriously, just reach out to me on any of the social medias, and I promise you, I will get back to you. It might not be same day, but I promise I will get back to you.
Okay.
Sweet.
And we'll stay in contact with Shepherd Creations as well. So if you guys ever want to reach out to us, we can get you hooked up with him. Or if you want us to ask any questions, anything live on the podcast, we can do that as well. So we definitely plan on having a working relationship with him as we move forward into the future. Well, again, thank you for joining the show, man. We really appreciated it.
No problem. Thank you very much. Again, I had a blast, guys. This was awesome. This was fantastic, and I'm going to do everything I can to promote y'all and help you out.
We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yep.
All right, guys. All I can say is to stay delirious.
Stay dadding.
And stay gaming. This has been a Delirious Dads production. For more information about the show, visit our website at www.deliriousdadsgaming.com. You can also find us on facebook.com/deliriousdadsgaming, twitch.tv, and YouTube. Make sure you like and share our pages to help us grow the channel. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Please leave a rating and review if you enjoy the show. Thank you again for listening, and we hope to see you next time.